Alright. Let's go. Let's start it up.
You ready?
I'm ready.
You live? Hold on.
Oh, this is the song today. Okay.
This is
That's my song.
Eddie G's choice song of the day.
You guys still alive on this?
Get out the way.
Yo, you work on my phone?
Bitch, get out the way.
Move, bitch.
Get out the way.
Alright,
Get
guys.
out the way, bitch. Get out.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Edwin, why would you put that on?
That's somebody's sex tape? That's like 3 pumps in, boy.
Yeah,
That's somebody's sex tape on the background?
I told you guys not to show anybody that.
Oh, it's
What's up, guys? Welcome to Chit Chat with Steen Jaz.
Episode number 5.
Damn, it's already been number 5.
Number 5 already.
Hey, hey, hey.
Today we are joined with Marty Rock and the Jason Experience. Hi guys.
Hello.
What's up? What's up? Wait, can you request us on your live?
Can we request? Okay.
Yeah, request me.
Phones?
Yeah, okay. Hold up, guys.
no. Jazz, he follows you, right?
Yeah.
Make sure you have the volume. Make sure your volume is down.
Oh, right here, boom.
Alright. Oh yeah, the bottom.
Hold
Bring
on,
the volume
guys,
down
hold
because we're gonna
on.
get an echo.
We getting there.
Oh yeah, the echo.
Whoever's watching the lives,
You're ahead.
On mute.
Raise your hand. Cheers.
Cheers,
You
guys.
want to accept that?
Amazing. Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be a good one today. Marty and I love to go at it. Oh,
Yeah,
arguing.
Woo, I'm
Very
excited.
involved, man.
I'm
Very
excited. I
involved.
don't really know these guys like that, so I'm excited to get to know them on a different level.
Wait, turn the volume down on the way.
all your volumes.
Okay, your volume's gotta get turned down.
2 Jews, a Rican, and a chop. That's the show.
Hey, that's a good mix right there.
Jews, who's the other Jew?
He's Jewish.
I'm
Wait, happy holidays!
Wait.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it is. Y'all happy holidays for y'all.
Porn episode. You weren't there first.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I'm Jewish.
Were you fasting too?
I did not fast.
Well, he had mom.
He's
You
also
ain't
fast.
even a real Jew.
He's also black, guys.
Nah, I'm
You know,
fully. I'm
he's
Oh,
actually.
you're black and Jewish?
No, I'm not black.
Yo, you want it Moroccan, That's black, bro. Morocco is
Damn.
Guys,
This shit just got heated quick.
Before we start, we need you guys to swear on the chit chat with Steen and Jaz
Chit
Bible,
Chat
right?
Bible.
How do we do this?
Okay.
So, put your
Put your
hand
hand
on
there. Swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you barcode.
Okay.
I
Oh man.
swear to tell the
I
truth
swear to tell the truth
and nothing but the
and
truth,
nothing but the truth.
so help me barcode.
So help me, barcode.
Your lies are barcode's hands.
Is this your black book?
Yes, it is the black book.
Yeah, you don't want to see what's in there.
I swear to tell the truth and nothing but the
And
truth.
nothing but the truth. So
So
help me,
help me
Marco?
barcode.
Okay.
You guys are swearing on
Marco
barcode.
been helping me pay my bills.
Exactly. So we can be lying on barcode because barcode helps us pay all our bills. This show wouldn't exist if it wasn't for barcode.
That is a fact.
So we be swearing on barcode over here. Okay?
Okay.
So no lying.
That's a high power, just like God.
Marty Rock, you heard that? No lying. You gotta
No
keep
lie,
it.
no cap.
Keep it. Yeah, no.
So Jason, let's start with you. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Let me see.
Who
27.
is Jason?
27, no kids. Start with that.
And he's Jewish.
Yes. No
I need
shit.
a kosher snack.
Kosher snack.
I speak fluent Hebrew.
Do you really?
I speak fluent Hebrew.
But you didn't fast today for Yom
I
Kippur.
did not.
Wow.
How do you say I love you?
אני אוהב
Ani,
אותך.
okay.
¿Cómo?
אני אוהב אותך.
Anijo.
Ani.
Why is that the first thing that
Because I
people
want to know
ask
how
you?
you say
Like,
it.
I
Because I
love you.
love you. So I want to know how you say
But
it.
like, I
I don't wanna know how
I
to
feel
say
like when you
fuck
meet
you.
the first Israeli, you're probably gonna say I hate you first. You probably learn that
Definitely.
first.
100%.
So how do you say I love you?
אני אוהב אותך. Yeah.
No, not want to see Steve say it. Go ahead, Steve. Say it, Steve. How do you say concoction, Steve?
Hey, my puta, that's ya.
It's really not a sexy language.
Okay, one more time. One more time.
אני
Ani.
Ani is like, alright.
Ani.
אוהב
Ohev.
אותך.
Ota. Ani ohev chta.
Nah.
Where was that even come from? Where the hell was that?
Wait,
swallow it.
No, that's the first one.
She got an air ball.
I'm over it. I'm over it. Okay, so.
Jazz
Got legs problem.
Nah, yeah, my Spanish.
Jazz,
My Spanish is like my Hebrew is trash. Sorry, mom.
Nah, he
I did that. I'm
And
gonna
then
go
just
just
flew shout out to my mom. She made us talk in Hebrew all the time. Yeah, 27, no kids, man. I graduated Towson University, went to Stevens University as well. Actually finished up my college there. I worked for the Supreme Court as an intern my first 2 years at college. and during college, my internships already at the Supreme Court as well. Really was going to go into the law field. That's what I really always wanted to do. I always thought maybe a senator or something on the political field, a lobbyist, something in that sense. I was going to go to law school, but I really jumped into the nightlife thing. I created a 10-year rollout plan for myself, and I said, if I don't hit these years, if I don't hit these goals on these years, I'm out. And so far, every year, man, kind of hit my goals. So I'm going to continue to, try to build what I'm building and continue to grow.
Marty.
So my name is Marty. I play a couple records. I go by Marty Rock. I never, school was never really a thing for me. Pretty much it. I have a son. He's my world.
How old is he?
He's 2.5. He'll be 3 in December.
Oh,
You're so cute.
You see what happens when you let a humble nigga knock you up? You get cute kids.
I think about that.
Humble.
Keep that in mind for my
Just be humble. Let a chubby nigga knock you.
What am I doing wrong?
You gotta find a new
Be humble. Be humble.
Marty was built.
Let a hard, listen,
Marty
let a
was
hard
built.
six.
I'm not built.
Let a hard six. Now me hit it while you're ovulating and have a good kid.
I'm gonna keep that in my mental
I got
notes.
you,
Thank
I got
you. So when I'm pregnant in 9 months,
This is a hard six. Hard six. You'll have a cute kid. I promise.
What's your
Wait,
name?
weren't you
Like,
smashing the other
if you
kid last
can-
week?
the what?
That kid from the show from last week?
Who was smashing him?
I don't know. The question, you said you're going to smash him.
Oh, Justin. Oh, no.
You said you was smashing.
No, Justin Love, no.
Oh,
No, Justin was married. Fast Life was
Yeah,
smash.
that was
Oh, you played Kill Fuck Marry?
Yeah.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
doing that too.
It's coming.
Oh,
It's coming.
Oh.
Wait,
No.
I want to start. I don't know if you follow our questions of the day every day.
Every day we have a new one.
One of our questions of the day was, how do you keep your relationship hot and spicy?
How do I keep it hot and spicy?
So since you're in a
You
relationship,
guys are married?
No.
Not married, right?
No,
Okay.
no.
but you live together.
I'm Puerto Rican. I do the life partner
The
thing.
life partner thing. Ah, okay. The common law marriage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that is mad Puerto Rican.
But you've been with the same girl for a long time. You have a baby, right?
Like
4
almost
years.
4 years this
Okay,
month?
that's longer than some marriages.
I guess.
Okay, what is your advice? Like, how do you keep it going? How do you keep it hot and spicy?
Stay busy. Stay busy, deprive her of the dick, and then anything after that is hot and spicy.
Deprive her of the dick.
Yeah,
I
I'm
heard
never
it
home.
first.
I'm really never home.
Like, you just don't give her the dick?
I don't. We barely even see each other. She works during the day. I work at night.
No, that wouldn't work out.
She was like a professional dancer, though, right?
I
No,
would say-
not like that. Like an actual
Yeah.
dancer, like a real dancer.
I mean,
Wow.
she's a dance teacher. She's a dance teacher.
A dance teacher,
Yeah.
dance instructor.
She's a teacher. She
Yeah, when you say
teaches.
dancer, you gotta clarify.
Like,
Because he's like, yeah,
I said
Marty-
professional
Marty
dancer.
took the girl from Starlet.
Go.
Be careful.
Girl, just start professional. Yo,
I mean, no. I'm
it
just
started.
saying.
Don't offend Eddie's dancers, okay?
You go up that pipe. You don't know your shit. You're gonna bust your ass.
Yeah, you don't want a strip club we can shout out yet?
No, not yet.
We're working on it. I'm working on my twerking so we can look at work.
It's happening. It's in the works.
Word.
Everybody got a.
What about you, Jason? Do you have some dating advice for me and Jaz? Because we're both single girls going through our situations. We're going through it, and we don't know what else to do.
I think
Nah, but you could.
So we need some advice.
I think transparency, man. I think that's what it comes down to. In this industry, in this world, you need transparency. And it's the one thing a lot of these girls don't have. You know what I mean? If you're talking to someone, 3 people at one time, that's fine. That's okay. Just make sure you communicate that to all 3 people. Everybody should know at all times.
And we're talking
What's
to
going
each one.
No, you don't have to say who you're talking to.
Oh,
But
you're
hey,
talking
listen.
to somebody else.
Hey, listen. Currently, I'm at this place in my life. I need this for my life. I need this. And I think a lot of the times that
You don't think that'll scare some guys away, knowing, oh, this bitch is talking to other guys
Yeah,
too?
she out here.
no, I think
You're gonna
again,
box up everywhere. Crazy, I don't know.
again, just because you talk to someone doesn't mean your box is in there.
That's a
That's
fact.
your own fact.
But guys automatically will assume that.
Not at all. As I said, I don't think you're communicating the right way. Just because you're communicating that you're all open doesn't mean that you're open for a relationship. You can be
You're all
right now, I don't need you for more than dick. But maybe when I become emotionally available, that can open up. I don't know right now. You could communicate that to someone really simply, and I think people don't.
What if you have a thing for bad boys?
And DJs and
Ay,
things of that
Dios
sort.
mío, ¿qué?
Stop drinking Hennessy, man. Like, stop drinking Hennessy. Cut your-
What? Why is that so? Oh, hell no!
Look,
Take that anger Yo, why they come for us like that?
Reggie, sober?
Excuse me?
Are you fucking DJ
I do
sober?
not fuck.
This
This
was
was
bad.
I'm just saying. Are people? No, it's
It's
not.
not what?
Yes, they fucking sober. Are they fucking?
No, one's fucking.
But why does it have to be Hennessy? Tito's will probably get me more wild.
They're sober in the
I
morning.
That's
no
no
one.
Bro,
You was fucking
no
somebody
one's
and then
fucking
you was
sober.
You was fucking.
Yes, no.
Yes, yo, that's
I
not
only
great.
fuck
What do you
girls
mean?
I'm gonna fuck sober.
Yes, bro.
Okay?
But you
Yeah,
can
sober.
get
Wait, you can't fuck sober?
Thank you.
Who can't?
What?
fuck
You
sober?
can't fuck
A
sober?
DJ?
Any
Wow.
DJ?
What
What's
is
so
it
bad
like?
with fucking?
Yo, hold on, cause Marty, yo, he coming for you.
Come on, have sex with a hard If I was a girl, I'd rather fuck a DJ than a promoter.
Yo!
That's foul.
I've never thought on
This DJ going home with some money.
I definitely agree. I definitely
Promoter
agree.
goes home with a fucking hook and
Not if you DJ in New York. You ain't go home with shit.
No,
if you
listen,
DJ
I
in
don't
New
think
York.
Hennessy's the problem. I mean, like, I like Hennessy. That's my choice of drink.
Hennessy's
But
not
it's
the problem.
always been.
Not the problem.
I mean, maybe my choice
I mean,
is.
No, because I
Has
was
it
drinking
always
Patron
been
and it didn't get
bad?
any better for me when I switched to Patron, so.
Bucana's does any good?
I mean, what is it about the person? Is it about the person, or is it about the fact that the person is available to many people?
First of all,
That's
Jazz
not the
said
lifestyle.
DJs. Jazz.
I just threw it out there.
I've been with DJs, but that's not like, oh, you're a DJ. I'm
Me
gonna fuck
neither.
you.
Okay, this
No,
was years ago.
that's how it
My
works.
DJ stage. Marty Rock knows. This is a long time
Why?
ago.
Why? I don't think
Marty
Marty
it's
Rock and
going
I-
on.
Nobody really know you.
Because Marty Rock and I are very good friends, and I used to tell him all my dirt. And he,
But that wasn't even trying to blow it up though.
I don't care.
First of all,
Wow.
We blow our own shit up here.
First and foremost, I am not the DJ that was fucking. That's
Okay.
Oh, no, yeah, put that out
First
there.
and foremost,
Definitely not.
when you told me you're
We
a
know,
DJ,
she
I'm
don't
like,
not saying. I mean, that shit's a bad idea, but
No,
I'm
it was
just
not like
clarifying
that.
that.
Marty, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I'm the type of person, me, especially when I'm looking for in life. As soon as you tell me you're a DJ, I'm like, whoop, red flag. Promoter, whoop, red flag.
I mean, obviously, I
No,
wouldn't fuck
but
nobody
I just
in
find
the
it that like
girls.
those are the type of guys that understand me and they understand how I live my life.
But now there's
Exactly.
something
But
else.
who else is gonna do that besides a DJ or a promoter?
Exactly. There's no one
Exactly.
else.
You're
How about a
that's the
security
fucking
guard?
problem.
But wait, now there's another thing. Wait, hold on. Now let me ask you guys. Now, okay, as a guy trying to date girls, right? You see Steen and me, right? Steen and me talking about, we have a podcast. We talk about sex and about wild shit all the time. Then we work in the nightlife. Would you take a girl like that seriously? Would you be scared about a girl like that? Like they're gonna come on the show and just blow up your whole shit?
Yes.
Because I heard that from
I don't
people.
think I've ever fucked with a shorty in the nightlife.
Never?
No, I don't think so.
Wow. What about you?
Money.
I'm dead ass. I probably fucked a girl in the nightlife. I never fucked with a girl. And there's a difference. Fucking somebody and fucking with somebody is two different entities.
Yeah.
If I fuck you, wham bam, thank you, man. We do it again, whatever. But if I fuck with you, there's intimacy, there's movies, there's dates, there's dinners, there's all that shit involved.
He said movies. That's part of the qualification. Ain't no movies if we just smashing.
That's the difference between fucking somebody and
You're
fucking
right.
with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
If I ever fucked with somebody in the nightlife, no.
So your girl's like a 9 to 5 type of girl?
Yeah.
But she understands your life though,
So
right?
she's not tired by the time you get home. You're like, babe, I just want to
But
smash.
that's what he's
you."
saying. He barely
No,
sees
no,
her.
no, she's
Yeah,
not.
so-
not
he got a
like-
kid, Steve.
What does that mean? You know what I'm saying?
It's not.
I mean, Steen, the number one problem with him is not sex. It's let's pay the bills. So his wife is working 2 jobs. She's created a dance studio. She's shooting for kids on the weekend. She's
But I
shooting
think you still
school
need to make time
photography.
for your love life.
Absolutely.
Your intimacy
That's
with your man.
100%
Because I feel like,
valid.
not saying
That's
that's your case, but I feel like that's a lot of the reason why people cheat nowadays. Because you get so consumed in your careers that you forget to say I love you to the person
I
you're
don't think
with.
people are
Or
consumed.
that's
maybe
not
I
the
want
case.
to fuck your brains out right now. And like, men and women, they love that
What
shit.
about, what
No,
about
that's not
consumed
the
for
case.
survival?
Yeah,
People
they
are
do.
out here just consumed
Right?
for survival. Like, you understand that? People have bills to pay to the point where they can't make rent. So I'm saying is,
Come on.
I'm 100% serious right now. That comes first. You're living in a world where you're making X amount of money, and if you don't have it, you can work a bottle service job and kick in a rack straight off the bat. People don't have that
I love you.
opportunity.
Can't forget about that.
They gotta
small
wait till
detail.
Tuesday. They gotta wait till Wednesday. They gotta wait till Thursday for a check. We can go and get a bag cash tonight. I can open up my door
Ooh,
and get cash.
can you look? Can I go?
I'm
I'm actually, I need some funds right now.
I know how bottle service works. Okay,
Where?
I'm in the same industry.
Eddie, your biggest
If
tax
you
write-off
need
talking
it-
about she needs funds.
In nightlife, it's a lot easier to get, let's say, a quick cash $400 or $500. But again, if you're working a steady 9 to 5 and you need to pay that bill And now he's saying he's working 2 jobs at least. He's
And I
working
get it,
3
and I
jobs.
respect the hustle, but at the same time, you can't forget to take care of your man and your woman.
No, there's time
You
for that.
can't.
I mean, like, I mean, while the nuggets are cooking in the oven, I'm cracking that shit.
Okay, now back to our question.
My son is potty training now. He takes forever to doodle. While he's doing that, I'm cracking that shit. I mean,
He
real
watches
quick.
Spider-Man while he's taking his
Real
shit.
quick, little whoop.
No, you gotta make time for that. You
Nah,
can't
for
forget
real.
that.
We
It's
gotta
important,
it,
you know?
but, and that's spicy. That's the spiciness about it.
Exactly.
The spontaneity of our little nigga
Spicy
walking
nuggets
in.
are
That's
bad.
the answer.
Like
Right
getting his life
That's the
tainted,
answer.
you know what I mean? Like seeing his father naked.
And Brittany Murphy, Eminem in the studio.
Oh yeah, that's.
I mean, I'm just speaking
I guess
on behalf
that's
of
spicy.
my own personal needs. Like,
Yeah,
I
but
have
those are your
baby.
needs. Those are your needs now.
You don't
What
have
are your
kids,
needs gonna be when you're a
Yeah,
mother?
yeah, when
Yeah,
you're
that's
still
true,
working,
though.
and
I
you're
believe it
maintaining
might
a
still be
household.
there.
I don't think so. Your
you know
priority
what?
becomes your kid. That becomes your world.
Of course, that's number one.
No, that's not number
2
one.
is my
See, that's what
job,
I'm
and
trying to
number
explain to
3
you. There's
is
nothing
my.
else.
Number 2, God.
There's nothing else. Once you become a mother, there is nothing else. You understand that? That is your world. That is everything.
We
you
will
are.
revisit this.
In a couple years, after Steen and
I just know the way I am, and I know I require that.
Steen, after you let a hard 6 knock you up, then we'll do the
A hard
rest.
6?
I'm like a 6.5 at least.
What is a hard
Hard
6?
6,
Like 6 inches?
No.
Oh.
Out of turn. What's doing a second one?
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Get Christine!
Just to play devil's advocate, I did say a hard 6.
You did
I
Yeah.
did say
Damn.
What is a hard
A
6?
solid 6.
A
Like,
six,
like
that's
you're not
hard.
gonna give a girl like a 1 to 10, so a guy
Like
like Marty.
It's
Marty
like LeBron.
said he's a 6.
Maybe you could be a 4 if you're thinking good.
Oh, I'm taking that shit.
Yeah, of course.
We got babies. Yo, looks
As a
fade.
baby,
Listen, that's one thing my mother always told me. She's like, don't ever go for a guy for looks because looks fade. You need somebody that's gonna keep you laughing, be there for you. You know, like through hard times and
And
good
bring it
times.
back on.
Looks
Yeah.
ain't shit.
My mom says that guys that are medium ugly are better in bed because that's to try harder. And she's
Yeah.
right, it's true. The pretty boys, they just feel like
First
they can
off,
get
your
whatever.
mom is a fucking saint.
She
Your
is.
should
My
be
mom is
sainted.
the G. She's the
That
funny.
ass, like,
She said, "Don't be calling me today. I'm breaking fast." I'm like, "All right,
Oh,
we
there
won't
you
call
go.
you today." You know, Jewish moms.
They're on break tip.
Yeah, my mom's on break.
So let's get going with our first topic.
Okay.
Go ahead, Jazz, introduce.
Oh my God, the Summer Walker album. I'm at the Summer Wednesday. Yo, this album.
How we go from City Girls to this?
Okay, so it's obviously, City Girls.
That's why.
Act Up was definitely our theme song. And
We act it
now,
up, and now guess what? We got
Playing
shit.
Games is everyone's anthem. Did you hear the album yet?
I have not.
Oh
You know what
my
it is?
I've heard some
God.
records.
No. You know what it is? I know there's not going to be any club hits on that album.
There
No.
is.
Yeah.
Playing
What
Games.
you mean?
Listen. I'm a really, really hard critic when it comes to R&B because I'm a huge R&B head. Huge R&B head. So, like, I kind of don't give the new stuff a chance.
You have to. I'm an
I
R&B
really
head
don't.
too, but you have to listen to
I
her.
really
She's
don't.
speaking straight facts.
But now that I know that London on the Track made that shit.
That's his.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
his whole girlfriend.
Right,
He
right,
produced
right.
like basically I think the whole thing.
I'm going to listen to it on my way home.
Her album might be as good as Beyonce's Lemonade, and that was one of my favorites ever. That spoke to me. That video actually, that album spoke to me.
What?
Maybe because of what I was going through at the time. I just, hold up, they don't love you like I love you. Like, I love that album.
And that reminded me
I'm
of
not a fan of Beyonce. though.
me neither. Nah, she reminds me of SZA. When SZA dropped Control, like that's that type of vibe. Like I remembered exactly where I was and the
Summer
day I
Walker.
went through.
Summer Walker.
Yeah, it's just like everything that she said.
I knew
was
She's
like
from
her.
where? She's from LA?
She's from Atlanta, I believe.
She's from Atlanta.
I believe Atlanta. I think she was a stripper. I don't know. I could be lying.
Yo,
But
the
the shit that
yo,
she talked about, I think she was.
yo, we need to add this to the Chinese calendar. The year of the stripper, yo. Because
Yeah,
the strippers are winning.
Thank you.
This
Finally,
year.
somebody agrees
The
with me.
strippers are
It's
winning.
so
yo.
sad.
I've been seeing
Cardi,
this.
Megan Thee
Marty,
Stallion,
Meg the Stop, yeah. She's in school
Lizzo.
too.
She
Y'all
made
Lizzo-
a stripper.
Oh, but listen,
They're all winning. It's crazy, man. I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
So what do y'all like about the album?
Okay.
Everything? Like,
Everything.
the vibe, the whole, this is what you listen
There's
to?
not one-
I feel like even if I'm not really going through what she's talking about, I feel like I am.
well, I'm going through it, so her album touched me in another way, and every song on it is just like, damn, like how do you know?
I'm not going through it, but I feel her.
Yeah, thank you. I know. It's like,
Jazz, what you going through, bro? Talk about this.
we'll talk about it at a later date, maybe.
Nah,
I'll have some more Henny. I'll
He's
talk
a
about it
whole
on the podcast. But Nah, the only thing I don't like about it is that it was too short.
And what she's
How
really
many
saying
songs
is that
on the
niggas
album?
ain't shit.
Ain't shit, but that's another
Well,
story.
I think-
How many songs on the album?
I think it's like 8 songs, but everything's under. It's like 2 minutes.
Well, everything in 2019 has to be under 2 minutes and 30 seconds because you don't get paid royalties unless you have a whole song played through on iTunes. So that's why every single song that comes out is 2 minutes and 30 seconds. That's also Die Baby when he starts his records
I didn't know that.
really early is because he's trying to captivate you so you stay through the whole thing. Right now, royalties in iTunes and Spotify, that's what these guys are relying on because touring isn't really working.
Sorry, it's not
You
yet.
just saw
But you know,
Justin
like-
Bieber put Machine Gun Kelly and and who else? And Young Thug, I believe, on his tour
On
like
his
that.
tour?
You never need Justin Bieber would never need the Young Thug or
Anything
Machine
like
Gun
that.
Kelly to sell out. But you're getting into that time where people don't want to leave their house. You know what I mean? They really don't.
You know what's crazy? 2019, I feel like it's been the year of like the women.
The women.
100%.
Like everything is
100%.
niggas ain't shit. Look, niggas get money.
It's y'all. I mean, it's y'all time. It's y'all time. It's 2000. It's definitely
So
y'all
what's
time.
happening in 2020?
I mean, I
Like bitches
think-
ain't shit.
Wait,
I-
shit. City girls.
So,
Yeah.
I think it's the whole like
Women empowerment?
of women. You know what I mean? I think it's long overdue because the guys have been shining in the music industry.
Yup, they have,
forever.
right?
It
So long.
really has been a man's world. You know what I mean? Like, and every genre. You know what I mean? And I'm glad to see the shorties are taking over. You know what I mean? But like even in the pop market, Billie Eilish, she's killing it.
Yep.
There's no way she's 17. By the way. There's no way.
I mean, the gender gap has
You know, I
really
like
closed
Jessie
in
Reyes.
hip hop. Really.
Ray's on her name, Jessie Reyes.
I don't know.
Jessie Reyes.
I'm ratchet.
She's fire. She's Colombian, I think. I think
She's
she's
good. She's dope.
No, she's fire.
Like, that's the good.
I mean, what I really like is Rihanna, like the situation that she's in, the fact that like she could drop an album whenever she wants, but she tells the world, no, I'm a businesswoman right now. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to take over, and I'm gonna take over the complete industry by myself. And I think that's really cool. The discipline that they're showing these days with creating content together, like we saw Hustlers. That restraint.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, so great.
I haven't
Best
seen
movie.
it
So
either.
great.
But again, the restraint that the women are showing these days to support each other is really, really remarkable. And I think that's what's really pushing the movement over is the fact that there's restraint and discipline within the movement.
Well, so that kind of gets to our next topic about Steen Santana and Joe Budden.
Oh, so
Okay.
sad that they're not together
so
anymore.
sad. So
Catch
sad.
me up. I'm not a relationship father.
Okay, so Steen Santana, she's on Love and Hip Hop. She was an Instagram.
She was pregnant with Joe
Oh,
Budden.
she's straight this year?
Yeah, she's straight to
She-
Well, she's been with him for a while now.
No, but she used to date Erica Mena.
Yeah, but I'm not saying she's straight this year. She's been straight for like 4 years now.
Her and
Going
Marty just
strong.
got married on Monday.
They got married.
Ass dykes. Fuck out of here, yo.
Bruh.
They're not real dykes. They're just experimental. That's what that means.
The hoes are winning.
These
Again.
bitches is lesbian because niggas ain't shit, and now look at her crying over fingers. Look at you.
But look at Erica Mena, for example. She just got married on Monday, and she's been with Bow Wow, Rich Dollars.
Who hasn't been with Bow Wow? at this
I mean,
point?
who hasn't
That
been
is a
with
real
Erica Mena
good
at this
And
point?
remember, she said in an interview she had like 300 plus bodies.
Nah, she said.
Yeah, she did say that.
Is it bad that I'm turned on?
That is bad.
Yo, there's
But she's
levels.
bad.
That's like legendary box right there.
Definitely.
That's Hall of Fame, Cooperstown, New York box.
She got mad rings though, like legit, right?
Yo,
Because didn't they all propose?
rings.
Yo,
She gotta have dots or something. Who got more rings?
They all proposed to her. Just like she has
No,
been proposed to like
Who has
7 times.
Who has more rings? J-Lo or Erica Mena?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Erica Mena.
Nah,
J-Lo.
J-Lo.
J-Lo got
Five,
Tom Brady
right?
numbers, yo.
Stop.
No, facts.
Don't
She
disrespect
has, like,
her
That's
like
facts.
that.
What you mean?
But she carries herself in a
No,
different
she
No,
way.
we're talking about, like,
she
engagement rings,
rejected
like, no, I think
like
that-
4 engagement proposals.
Who?
J-Lo.
Okay, so Erica Mena's definitely gotten more.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's
Nah,
she's 6 for
J-Lo
10.
got
I
more.
think J-Lo.
So J-Lo is 6 for 10. That's
I mean,
That's
J-Lo
like-
ended up with Alex
that's like
Rodriguez,
Puerto
ended
Rican
up with
like-
Safari, so like... I mean,
You know how much more years J-Lo got on Erica already as it is? That's years of proposals that Erica hasn't had a chance
Yeah,
to
but
get.
how you dating Nicki Minaj's leftovers? Like, I feel so-
what do you mean? I
I
mean, doesn't matter. And how
and
how's he dating half of New York City's leftovers?
That damn, that's
I mean,
true.
if she has
and the
300
West
bodies, if she has 300 bodies, you kind of got
It's probably like 3 or 4 now.
Me
3 or
halfway.
4.
Last time we
3 or
checked.
4. Nah, this was like 3 years ago. So I mean,
Yo, but she's bad. Erica Mena's bad.
She is.
She's
She
bad
got
as hell.
big ass feet though.
How do you know
Big
that?
ass.
How do you know that?
Big feet up in the air.
Feet, like I look at feet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for
And
real.
she
You have a feet fetish?
Two big ass feet in the air, that shit don't
She
work.
got big ass feet.
Speaking
And she
of
Puerto
bodies.
Rican. Puerto Rican bitches got hairy toes. I know.
Hell no.
Speaking of bodies.
Fuck what I'm talking about.
Speaking of bodies, okay? the other day I got into this little.
No.
Look at me.
I thought Eddie had a little clock on the
No. The other day, I got into a discussion with one of my girlfriends, and she was telling me she just recently started hooking up with a guy, and he asked her how many people she's been with. And she said, Steen, do I tell him the truth, or do I give him a safety number? I'm like,
Safety number.
what is your safety number? She's like, I don't know, 14. I'm like,
Yes.
That's a safety number?
Then she should go with 14.
I want to know, as men,
That's
you
just
are men,
definitely easily
do you
double.
appreciate the truth? Or you want that girl to give you the safety number? Or do you not ask at all? What happened before me don't matter. Wait, I need to ask this question.
I appreciate the truth. I'm gonna be honest with you.
What if
You
it's
want to start.
300?
I'm gonna give you the truth too.
What's your number?
You would tell a girl the truth.
I would tell the girl the truth. My girl knows that.
Do you know your number?
I don't.
Because
I know it's up there.
He's a hard 6.
I asked Marty, I asked the guy the
No,
other
you know
day,
what it is,
and he looked up in the air and he's like, holy shit. I'm like,
No, you know what it is though?
What?
I'm never ever on Santa's naughty list. Ever. Like I'm a giver.
okay.
I mean, so like I know that my number's up there. I mean, like, and my girl knows too. My girl
So
knows
you
that.
would want your girl to tell you the truth about her number?
Absolutely.
Would you want to know
Especially
who
the
it
girl I
was?
had a fucking kid
Excuse
with.
me, would you want to know who it was that you slept with?
No.
14 is too
Unless it was
Like
some
to let
nigga.
you know?
Unless it was a nigga in my inner circle.
Well,
Then
Eddie says,
I would
Eddie
have
might
to know.
change his mind, but Eddie told me 2 years ago, he says, you never, ever, ever disclose that information. What happened before? It's none of their fucking business.
Nah, if it's somebody
Right,
like
Eddie?
if Jason
Yeah.
cracked my girl
And
shit,
then I
Yeah, that is
listened to
wrong.
him, and I told him,
But that's my advice to
Reggie
friends
Crack?
of mine.
I need
But
to
I
know
want to know the number.
oh, you want to know?
I want to know the number because I want to know how fast I'm going to run, or should I maybe I give this girl a chance?
Right. That's
Ah,
what
fuck
I'm
that.
saying.
Okay, what about
I'm
you?
never gonna be with a girl that is holding my hand as my woman, and every nigga out there can say, "Yo, I banged that girl."
Facts.
And 14 is too
That's
high.
true.
I got a lot to.
14 is your safe number. That means her number has to be like 28.
50?
14
Nah,
is
it's
high?
56.
That's what I'm saying. She's like 50 something.
I wouldn't mess a girl
This
with
girl
14.
better have money.
14 is
I
high?
mean, if
How
you
old?
get your late
What's your
20s,
age?
that seems
What are you
about
talking
right.
about?
14?
Age or
That
count?
seems about right.
You've been with 14
If you're
guys.
conservative?
That's a lot?
Yeah.
If you're a good Jewish
No,
girl,
I won't fuck with you.
Clearly not. That's working
Jazz,
straight.
It's
I'm fucking with
You better lie.
Jazz.
Gomez, you would
Nah,
fuck a girl?
fuck that shit.
Hell
You
no.
guys are living in La La Land if you
I
think
don't-
the bitches you're fucking with.
No. There's a difference.
Wait, what? What did you
Maybe
say,
you're
Steve?
21.
Huh?
There's a
Maybe you're
difference.
21. At 21, I was at 4.
Okay.
I'm just
There's a
saying.
difference between
Now.
fucking with and
You better-
fucking.
Just
Like to me,
Everybody
fucking
has
with.
a past, and when do you? How many people
I'm not gonna ask somebody.
Oh, shitload.
Okay, so listen. What about you? Would you want to know the truth, or it doesn't matter what happened before?
I've never asked a girl her body count ever in my entire life.
See.
Yeah, that's a great. I would.
No,
someone asked me
but
that.
as I always have been saying, I really don't think it's a big part of the relationship. Like, aside from the fact that
Damn, I.
my research is my preference, like, if I want to do research on you, and if I want to find out you fucked the whole town, I'm gonna do the necessary research behind that. If you're in Barcode, I'm gonna hit up Reggie. If you're in my city, I'm gonna hit up the door people. I'm gonna hit up my security. I'm gonna hit up
Yo,
my
all you
people.
gotta do is just walk up to the fucking building. If everybody knows who the fuck she is,
Yeah.
that's when we stay away from that.
If she hugs the security. The rule is if she hugs the security, it's
Yo,
not
if
good.
the bitch no Hughes, you know it's coming.
Guys, honestly, like, let's be real. Like, your body count is out there. Like, you know what I'm saying? People that fuck you, they want to tell other people that they fucked you. Like, that is already happening out there. So
I don't know. I think I've really
Yeah, but guys be lying, too.
That I sleep with. I've never had that situation. Like, I feel like I've had a good judgment
That's not
of
real
the men
work.
that I've slept with. Like I've never heard, ooh, this nigga's talking shit about fucking Steen or whatever. Like, I've never fucked a guy that I didn't plan on fucking. Like,
I mean, most
planned
people
it,
do. That's considered rape.
I mean,
Like,
I'm proud of
I've
you.
gone
Leo, where's the pizza, Leo?
want to have.
We need some cheese.
Like, I planned it. You know what I mean? So I know who I'm fucking with. I've never laid in bed with somebody that I don't know who the fuck I'm fucking
You never got convinced. No one ever convinced you.
Nobody ever what?
Nobody ever convinced you.
No, I'm very hard to convince. I know if I'm a fucking, like, I know, and I'm gonna do my investigations. I wanna know if you're a dirty nigga, if you're a clean nigga. Like, that's why I think that Steen's been good. I
Got
have
you
no
on like a
problems.
drunk night once. No?
So you would never ask either, right? You would never ask about a body count.
I don't wanna know.
I don't want to know at all.
Okay, now let me.
I don't even wanna know who the fuck you were talking to.
Let me ask you.
Because I'm crazy.
Let me ask you a different question.
Insane.
Let
And
me.
I got hands.
Let me ask you. Let
Nobody
me
wants
ask you.
I wait. She wants to ask a
Let
question.
me ask you a different question. Forget
Yo,
about.
it looks to me like you guys should have given this girl a fucking book and let them fucking swear on it. Because at the end of the day, for real.
Everyone I've ever slept with, I know who the fuck.
You're saying you never had a one night stand?
Reggie got blinds.
You never had a one night stand ever?
I swear to God.
I've had a one night stand.
I will tell you guys.
Shit.
You never woke up.
Listen.
Jazz ain't gonna say nothing.
Yo, you know how many times I came into it? Like, I'm over here like, oh, hell no. Why am I here?
I had sex with a guy or two that I was like, damn, should I really have fucked him? But, again, and when you know every guy's something, so stop it.
Can I ask you a question?
Spicy ass.
He knows all
Yo, Marty gotta take off his jacket.
Bro, is this a question on your fucking application? Yo, what background check are you doing? Top facts.
Hey,
Where's the top facts? The top facts, Reggie?
He said, yo, for real.
Listen,
You know
you know why? Because if I'm with a guy, I really have to tell Eddie beforehand, like, everyone, okay, listen, I'm busy
Yo,
tonight.
Steve.
Oh, so you're blackball somebody who's like their game was. You're blackball them?
No, baby. I can tell you.
Like,
No,
if you
I
don't fuck,
I test the
if you
car
don't
before I
fuck
buy
with
it.
it, right? But if you don't fuck,
I am not taking an L and adding a number.
Alright, so
how are you
no.
testing
So
it?
Pete,
How am I testing it?
so
He's saying blackballing, Steve.
listen,
Yeah, but it could be little.
listen.
It could be good.
So Pete, you're a woman that's in a position of power, right?
He's saying
Let's say
blackballing.
you don't fuck with somebody who you fucked with in the past.
Mhm.
They're trying to come to barcode. Are you gonna Wendy Williams them
You
or
not know
what?
my ex-boyfriend?
Oh shit.
That's different.
Well, he's DJ 4 times a month.
That's different. By the way,
So obviously,
But why is that
by the
different,
way,
though?
y'all niggas is
But that's exactly
savages
what you said. Why is
for
that
letting
different?
My Google call that nigga $100 DJ.
Oh.
That was the
Ew.
Let me get up.
He wanted to say a lot worse, so I was like,
Y'all like that video, though, right?
He said I got my
At the end of the day,
Reggie.
How many times, Reggie, you saw it?
not echo on our live.
You gotta shut it down.
Okay, listen, guys.
No worries.
Your box is off. I told you. The box. When the box is off, you're gonna hear the echo. Honey, the box, the black box.
Listen, because we're still on YouTube.
Yeah, we're telling you.
At the end of the day, what I was trying to accomplish was people to talk about the video. And guess what happened? People spoke about the video. And we all know that Mr. DJ Herb is not no $100 DJ. I wish that nigga was, but he's not. He's super expensive and he don't budge on his fucking price. But, come on.
So you never say no name?
The batteries on.
You
She just said it.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah.
But listen, Herb knows too. It's all just a marketing
Shout out
thing.
to Herb, aka
It's funny.
El Choris.
He does not take Mike Kruger seriously
It's all
whatsoever.
jokes. All jokes.
If you take Mike Kruger seriously, you are dumb.
I think he's funny. I personally think he's funny. Yeah, you a hater.
Damn.
I just think
They
that-
throwing shots at
Alright,
Ruga
so,
now.
Are we gonna get back to the question, or are we just gonna go off the question?
They just gonna go.
Yeah, are we gonna go back to the question?
Okay, I'm sorry, baby. You had 2 questions.
Let's go back to the Santana thing you want to talk about.
Let's talk about it.
Joe Budden and.
Joe Budden and Santana.
I can't stand Joe Budden.
So alright, so basically she went publicly during the interview and was like, well, the happiest I've ever been was the moment that I left him, basically. And now she's just living her best life, chilling. And she said it was her decision to walk away from him because he's toxic, basically.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's a rough one. And I know girls that's dealt with Joe personally, and he's a very difficult person to deal with.
Yeah, he's very exact.
Light skinned, he's very,
What
man,
man is
manipulative.
Hey.
What man
Remember
is-
the light
What's-
skin?
Oh, God, Reggie's
What's-
moving around.
what's
He
your-
did drugs before that.
What's your personal connection to this story? Do you feel like you just got a toxic relationship?
Oh, man, I'm always in toxic relationships. That's my thing, unfortunately.
So how do you relate to this story personally?
This story, because she had the balls to walk away, whereas it's really hard, unfortunately, for me to walk away from certain situations that I have in my life that have been toxic. So I look at her like, wow, she's young. She just had a kid, too. I don't have kids. So for her to be able to gain the balls to do that, I respect her so much.
Is the kid living with her or the kid living with
The
him?
kid's living with, she said that she took the son.
Yeah, she's saying that she took.
That
She said that she left. That she took. But he apparently also said that they are not broken up.
They are broken up.
He got a girl. Nah, he didn't say
Oh,
they
he was
weren't
on
broken
vacation
up.
with another girl, yeah.
He had just made a comment that Mona, the producer of Love and Hip Hop, that she always has a trick up her sleeve. I mean,
Oh, you think it's for that? Like, nah.
I don't think it's for the clout. Like, I really don't think it's a clout situation or like for it to be like a story to sell for Love and Hip Hop to get the ratings up or whatever.
So that's a whole family. You can't mess with that.
Right.
There's no amount of money that could really ever, be worth it. Like, oh, I'm gonna put my whole family out there.
Yeah, but you.
Yeah, but I want to say that you say that, but there's people out here that are willing to really get that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so.
Yeah, I mean the whole Stan and Joe Budden thing. Joe Budden just seems like a miserable old man.
He does, right? I get that right from him.
He's real bitter. He's real bitter. Everything. He's very opinionated. And I feel like even on the show, they just wasn't on the same page. I mean, like she
made him look bad.
She definitely did.
Oh, there's one in the drawer in the kitchen.
Can't make your man look like
She
that.
had
In the drawer in the kitchen on the left side.
He was probably shitting on her too behind closed doors.
Yeah,
And
but
she was going for bad smarts too.
she publicly did though.
She publicly demolished him.
But you don't know what he was doing behind closed doors to make her lash out like that.
Yeah, because apparently she played that song that he cheated on her. That I forgot what it was when they first broke up. She played that song hinting that he cheated.
I feel you, but before you go out public, you could have actually went out in public and left. And I feel like that's what I really hate about all these situations is like, instead of just leaving, you now made a toxic situation even more toxic by adding toxic. The reason why you're in a toxic relationship isn't because of the other person, it's because you can't discipline yourself to walk away. So we're held accountable for these actions. I'm sick and tired of everybody now popping off after the fact. Well, listen, man.
After everything's done.
Exactly. You had 3-4 months to discipline yourself, to figure out a way to grow out of it. You weren't able to do that. That's on you. If you're going to blame it on the next person, then all you're going to do is wait for another next person to come and fuck up your life. But if in the meantime you're working on yourself and saying, hey, let me figure out a way to discipline myself to get out of these relationships earlier, then I think maybe everything changes. But until then, we just stay in the same cycle of just toxic relationships.
So what's your advice for someone that's in a situation like that to walk
First
away?
of all, have you ever been in a toxic relationship?
Yeah, I think I have.
You think?
Yeah,
How do you know if you've been in a
It was
toxic
like-
relationship? You either have or you haven't.
It was like it wasn't as intense as I think most people go through. That's why I wouldn't say it wasn't as intense. I don't think it was toxic from the fact that like someone was beating me or somebody was putting my shit out there. It was more somebody who just didn't understand where I was going, where I was focused. And I feel like at the end of the day, people think the other person changed, but maybe you're changing as an individual. Maybe you're maturing. Maybe you're stopping to do things that you were doing a year ago. Maybe you're stopping to do things you started to do when you were dating. That's positive. And the other person doesn't want to do those positive changes the same way you want to.
So how'd you walk away from that?
I walked away, walked back, and walked away again. I think I blocked the person on everything. But again, I just grew myself as an individual. I said, I'm going to cut this part out. I'm going to cut this out of my life. Cut drugs out of my life. Cut this out of my life. And I did for a year and a half already. I've been on this growth spurt, and it's not about nobody else. Nobody else is going to encourage you to grow, but as I continue to grow, I learn how much more I need to grow. And that's it. I'm just on the same path. Same focus.
Marty, have you been in a toxic relationship?
Marty just looks like he has toxic just written all
I've
over
only
his
been in one
face.
relationship in my entire life, and I was like really, really short.
Was she a nice Jewish girl?
Nah, she's not. Maybe next one, man.
What was she?
We're not talking about this.
They're the devils, bro. Puerto Ricans just bring out crazy.
A little bit more.
Ay, ay, ay.
I don't think she was
really,
Puerto
really,
Rican.
really toxic 6-year relationship.
You were what?
I was in a really, really toxic 6-year relationship.
I don't remember.
What made it toxic?
6
years.
years. I know her.
You know what it was?
Wait, what? Yeah, what?
It's a hard six.
The hard 6 minutes.
Honestly, I got something to drink. I'm gonna need something to drink on this show.
Yeah, there is. There's Hennessy and Bucanas around here.
You know what it is? You know what it is though? When we got together, we was mad young, and like our parents was mad strict with her. And because I had so much freedom, and she like was like on lockdown.
Anything clear?
That's where the toxicity came in because I was out
This
in
is
the
why,
dirty
this is
days.
why I end up with DJ.
And she was she was at home watching everything. And she was Puerto Rican, so she's half FBI agent. So everything I did, she found out how to do. She was creeping on my Facebook through my email type shit.
Yo,
Like,
you gotta invite her to your thing.
oh my shit, why your phone died?
Someone like that.
But yeah, I was in oh wait, you're still live, Jeff?
Mhm.
I was in
I've never drank him once a year. With Reggie for his
You gotta
birthday.
get in big
I'm about to do that.
Where's Reggie for your birthday? Right, it's only time.
Wait, so no?
Yeah, fuck
Okay.
it. You got
I'm
me.
drinking Henny today. What are you sucking?
First time for everything, man. First time I come.
Jay, you went on?
You got this.
Alright.
I'm on that one.
Yeah, so
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 she was
yeah.
very like sheltered and stuff like that.
Yeah, she was very sheltered.
She had time to be home online.
Right. And then
Nah, you
it
need
was
to make your girl busy.
it was you know what it was though? It was no trust issue. It was trust issues. So it's
Mhm.
like, you know, a relationship is like it's like a house. You can't build a house with no foundation. I mean, that trust is your foundation. And the trust just wasn't there. I abused the trust, and I pretty much did it to myself because
So you got caught.
I got caught. It was like a plethora of things.
How old were you?
Unless
I was
somebody,
when we
unless
first got together, I was 18 years old.
Oh, so you were young.
She was
wanted to get
16.
The
some
toxic age.
Yeah. No, that's Puerto Rican.
Puerto
man.
Rican shit, man.
It's Puerto Rican mad.
Don't blame that on the rest
Yo,
of us.
do y'all
bro.
ever-
You Puerto Rican from the Bronx, so you a
Shorty
different
left
type.
her eyelashes
Yeah,
at my
the rest of
crib
us,
the
bro.
first night she stayed.
Oh, I'm the queen
Yeah.
of taking out my eyelashes wherever the fuck. Sometimes
No, not wherever the fuck. Intentionally left it
There's
on
no
the
wall.
windowsill so like if a girl comes
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
yeah,
way,
yeah.
she would see them. Like
I know. I really
she
sometimes.
hid her eyelashes in my room, bro, and then this other girl left like
Wow.
extensions in my pillowcase.
Okay, so
This
it
shit
could be
is
she was doing
crazy,
it on
bro.
purpose.
Extensions
I call
in the
myself-
pillow?
Yeah.
I call myself taking it
Eyelashes.
off, and I completely forget.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I can't feel it. It's so embarrassing. Like, oh my god, I
Excuse
left
me,
my
Google.
eyelashes
Oh,
there.
sorry.
Oh, you
Yeah.
did go to the chicken cutlets?
Oh, I left.
Oh, I done that
The
too.
chicken cutlet.
I hate buying the chicken because they get snicky.
Mortifying.
Snicky as shit.
And then these guys are like, oh, you did that on purpose. No, why the fuck would I want to leave my eyelashes on purpose?
Oh no, she told me like I didn't know about it until weeks later, and she told me, oh, I left my eyelashes.
When I
on
sleep
the
with a guy, I
windowsill.
sleep like this, so my eyelashes stay on.
You see my
I said,
Fucking chicken.
because
Yo,
I
the
don't
girls-
want them to move. So.
Yo, do girls sleep like cute on purpose? Like I feel like
No,
it's
listen,
impossible.
I
for me to
very
sleep
much
cute.
try.
Depends how many
I
times
very
you
much-
sleep. You sleep with her enough, you gonna get the face mask.
I mean, like,
You sleep with her enough,
Bonnet.
you gonna get
Oh,
the
I
day
like
she didn't get her manicure, so the whole day she talking to you like this.
That's
I've
me.
seen that shit,
My
bro.
girl breaks
I had a
up.
girl talk to me the whole
I
time
don't
with
care
a
about
closed
shit like
fist.
that.
By the time like 20 minutes in, I'm like, yo, what color
I'm
manicure
the
you
most
got? I'm like,
self-conscious. Not even makeup. It's about my eyelashes. Like I don't like how I look without eyelashes. I know. I don't give a shit about anything else. Like I'm looking at right now.
No,
No.
I'm like that with my nails. My
It's
nails.
my
I look like
eyelashes.
Sasha
Like
Boy.
I know
Everybody
like, I
has
look
that one
crazy
thing.
with eyelashes.
But you know that's really what's good in relationships is when you're able to identify the little things that the person
Just
is
eyelashes.
self-conscious about, and you're able to fill that void for
And
them
you're cool,
before
yeah.
they're able to do it. You're really successful.
But I
in a
really be
relationship.
trying. The first couple times I sleep with you, I sleep like trying to look cute. But then if I'm drunk or something, forget it. I'm like,
Just sprawl out, right?
it is what it is.
You have a big. Wait,
Forget
how big is your bed?
my bed. It's king.
It's pretty big. It's pretty large.
It's like-
I have
yeah,
like
it's a king.
I have like the biggest size.
And you know
bed.
what?
It's
And
my
I'm
It's a
biggest
still
king.
that girl that the bed is so big, but you're gonna know I sleep like this.
Sprawl.
You definitely have a body pillow.
No, I do. I do.
I mean, from what I hear, you guys have like sleepovers and shit every single
Oh,
week.
yeah.
Yeah, but I don't
Nobody
sleep with
goes
her.
home. Everybody goes to Steve.
Yeah, but
No,
they don't sleep with me.
I sleep in the
cuddle.
because she wants to cuddle. I want to sleep on my fucking space.
I sleep with Steve.
And I went stuff.
Yeah.
I sleep on her sofa.
You small.
I sleep on her
I'm
sofa
surprised you ain't
all
like
the
you got no
time.
bubble
I,
butt. I'm surprised you
I
ain't
know,
like
I slept on the floor.
They sleep together, and they
Yeah.
used to sleep
I
on the
guess-
bed.
for.
No, because I like to cuddle, and I
You're
don't
so
cuddle when
aggressive.
you need to relax.
We're the
Like,
worst.
big
We
spoon
sleep
those
over her
spoons.
house.
Like to be big spoon those spoons.
I don't care. I don't mind.
What are you? What are you? What are you?
It is
5'5",
cool.
5'6"?
At this point.
Listen,
What are you? 5'5", 5'6"?
I'm
Like
fine.
the sandwich spoon.
What's the
the
tallest
mayonnaise
guy you
spoon
ever
that you
known?
leave on the edge of
The
the
tallest
sink.
guy?
Yeah.
It's
Know what I mean?
6'10".
Plastic support.
6'10".
Flip it over.
Yeah.
6'10".
Yeah.
Nah.
Who's 6'10"?
Her last man was 6'10".
No, not my last
No,
man.
it
A
was some
man
guy.
that I've
Ah,
been
but
with.
tell
Wait, the
people your
tallest
last
guy
man
you've
was
been with, you said
6'10".
was 6'10"?
Oh,
Oh, the
yo,
tallest one
you
I've been with was like
smack
6,
Afrojack?
7, 5.
Oh, you lit, yo.
What's his name?
And I
Afrojack,
go
nigga.
there because he's probably
6 foot. I mean, bro, obviously he knows who he is. He's
Okay,
6 foot fucking
anyway.
10. Like,
You're...
But recently, the person that I
Spot me.
have been talking to, guess what? He doesn't like to cuddle.
Yo.
he doesn't like to what?
He doesn't like to cuddle.
Cap, what
Is
up?
that a deal breaker for you?
And I love to cuddle.
Yeah, that's
Is that a deal
What you
breaker
prefer,
for you?
cuddling or the fucking cookies being taken away?
Oh my god.
So the
That's
guy
true,
used to
though.
come Before that, would take away my cookies because he said I didn't need my cookies. He took the cookies away. He would take away my cookies.
That's
I'm like,
sick.
can I get some
He was definitely a bouncer.
That was a good one.
Not even.
That's disgusting. That's
Get me
disgusting.
annoyed out
That's
here.
disgusting.
You eat in bed?
That's disgusting.
I used to call Eddie like, this motherfucker.
You eat
Wait,
in
he's
bed?
like, why are you so mad? This motherfucker took
See?
my cookies.
Look what happens.
So why does this?
Gotta put it in
knew
the
that shit
middle.
was gonna
It's in the
come.
middle.
I knew that shit was gonna
It's gotta be in the middle.
This is why you don't touch it, because
You
it's
made that
smooth.
hookah, you fucked up,
That
bro.
control,
Oh, no,
doesn't
chill out.
that cross over eventually?
It's not yours. I already told you.
You know what I'm saying? Forget the cookies right now, right?
It's not.
The man
It's
told
ours.
you you can't have something, right?
Because he said I didn't need it because he was a health
There you
freak.
go.
Okay, right? So at that moment right now,
Get
that means whatever phase he's going through. Right now, it's a health freak. In 2 years from now, it could be let's not smoke because of Jules. In 4 years, it could be let's keep Joseph. But regardless, he's restricting you based off something of his lifestyle.
Listen,
That's
I can
his
do well for
lifestyle.
myself or any man, no offense.
Clearly, you did though. You let him take away your
What you
cookies.
mean? I canceled him
You
out.
let how long? How long till that
We
continued
did
to
that
happen?
2 times.
2
I gave him a
times.
second chance.
Alright, cool.
I
I rock with you then. I rock with you.
was like,
If you cut him, okay, I got it.
And I was like,
y'all have
nah.
anything non-alcoholic to drink?
No, but seriously, like,
Water.
nah. But I love to cuddle, and I hate when men are like, no, I don't cuddle.
Yeah, get Eddie
It's
some
like
water.
this, it be hot, yo. It be hot.
And
No,
your
but
hand
I'm
is
the type-
heavy.
I'm the type of girl that I'll cuddle for 10 minutes.
You know what it is?
Once I fall asleep, I move.
I would never
Just
be able
make
to
me
cuddle
happy
with
for
you.
10 minutes.
Yo, first off, I would think one of
That's
your
true.
big-ass
I'm like
eyelashes
that.
is crawling on me. I can't do that. I would think one of your eyelashes is
No,
crawling
baby,
on me.
because I was like,
So one of them fucking them 1,000 leggings?
Oh, that shit was like
I'd be like this.
elbow
Like,
that
I wouldn't
shit.
even touch you.
a millipede.
Chill.
I'll
Right?
take them off for you. You know, if I really like you, I'll take them
I
off.
take mine off before I go to sleep. I have long like lashes though, my regular ones.
Right. So you don't need those.
And right
No, I do
now,
it because it looks.
I'm experimenting with wigs.
Oh, with wigs? What? Are you on Love and Hip Hop? Are you
Exactly.
on that
My mom is in the closet.
You have
This
a
is
blue
mine.
one? You have a blue one? You gotta have a blue one.
No. But stay tuned. I will be.
She does have a blue one.
Listen, you have to have a blue wig and a neon singlet. That's just what it is.
Oh, no way.
Thank you.
Listen.
It is.
How do you feel about wigs?
I don't like them. Especially
Why?
on my Latina.
My
I
ex
don't like
wears
them.
every day.
I don't
It's
like
fine.
them.
Every day.
I don't like
But
them.
isn't it fun? And she's
Yeah.
not ruining her hair. Like, see, my hair is nice and natural and
Yeah.
pretty. But I don't want to dye it. Like, I'd rather just get a
I want to
wig.
be
No,
blonde for a
it's a
week.
dub. It's a dub.
I mean, look. I'll be honest with you. If it's good hair, it's not bad.
I'm sending a picture of my wig.
No, it's a
Okay,
dub.
Yo,
Steve.
Steen,
And I'ma block you.
Steen, we talking Brazilian hair. We talking real Brazilian
No,
hair.
it's
we talking-
real. It's a real wig.
Okay, so we're talking real shit. Okay, that's good. You see, like, look, you get
Yeah,
a lace
it's-
front,
what
you
you
get a
mean?
frontal,
It's really ugly.
you get.
It's my first
If I
wig.
see the glue in between, you
No.
know, that's what I hate when I see
No.
like the
Do I look like
bangs
that type of bitch?
split.
Let's be honest.
No.
Again,
If I'ma do something, I'll do it
again,
right.
we're not.
No wigs.
Bro, you don't have it's a problem with your generation, bro.
No
This is
way.
not up to you,
It's
bro.
generation.
It's not
No
fucking up to you.
No
Thank
wigs.
you.
Unless you bald headed and you need it. No way.
Wow!
And even if you bald headed, rock it.
Look, I'll be honest.
I'll be like, come here,
Yo,
My wig and Marty's gonna call me.
Shit
Yo,
out
Steve.
somebody.
See, I'm gonna be so honest. I used to get mad. Like I used to tell her, please, like wear your natural hair. I love natural.
Was her
hair.
hair really short though?
Wow,
Yeah, it was like down to like.
But my hair's really short, so I want a long blonde wig.
Look, as I said, right now, do as whatever it is that makes you happy.
Thank you.
And that's it. And
Can
we're
I
gonna
stop?
support you. Like we're gonna.
You're gonna support me? Thank you. I like that. I'm not
I
brand
never
new.
like everything. I like everything.
Take that shit off. Fuck off, Steve.
Just don't come here looking like Rapunzel. Don't be like a 9 foot
No,
wig.
it's actually like it's parted like this. It's
No.
white hair. It's like Kim Kardashian look when she was doing the whole Yeezy promotion.
What's this obsession with the Kardashians?
No, I love her. I think
No,
she's
think
the most
about
fashionable woman.
High.
I'm sorry. Ain't nobody touching Kim Kardashian.
Anyway,
Moving on.
moving on.
Hold
Okay,
on,
so
I'm following my syllabus over here.
Someone gotta take control.
I want to talk about the Instagram feature being taken away. The activity
Yes.
feature.
What happened?
I can't believe this. I'm
Okay.
so
Every
sad.
promoter just lost a fucking job.
Listen.
See what people are like.
Listen.
Facts.
Every
What
now
do you
and
mean? They
then.
took that out?
Yeah, so now you can't see what people you follow like.
Or like what they're
You
doing.
You know how you go and you can see what they
It's
like.
activity.
Oh,
And
no,
you-
I love that.
Yeah, that's how everyone. That's what we all
Someone's like
see.
creeping.
That's how I end up with someone's ex grandmother's page.
Listen, let me tell you.
I be creeping sometimes. I don't want people to see.
Time out. Let me tell you something. Every now and then you stumble upon a feature on either your phone or social media that you know was invented by a woman.
By a
You
woman.
know it.
That one definitely.
First, on the iPhone, it's the screen record shit.
Oh, I love that.
That shit was invented by a woman. I will fight. I will defend defend this to my dying breath. That shit was fucking invented by a woman. That activity button, definitely invented by
I
a
never
woman.
used that one though. So wait, well you
You're
can see what
lying.
you liked.
Like,
You
alright,
were-
say I go on my
Eddie, get the book. Eddie, get the book.
I see their
Get the
activity.
book.
Yeah.
You know what?
When you go to your activity to see
I
what.
haven't.
Give me that.
I haven't had a
What is it?
man.
I swear to say nothing but the truth.
I, Christine, swear to say nothing but the truth.
And what it is? What's the other shit?
And the whole truth.
Barcode, right?
And
So
that.
help me barcode.
So there you go. You're a good Jewish
Listen,
girl. I
if
believe
you
you.
think I have the time to be on that activity, but you crazy as
You
hell.
are a
I haven't.
I don't think so, man.
You go to.
Nah,
You know
nah,
why?
I really don't
nah,
care.
nah.
You know why? Because
Marty, you know what it is?
because
You
we
don't
have
know.
all
I can't pull it up.
our
It doesn't exist
share your
anymore.
location.
It's
Wow.
basically.
I might
Yo,
have
Steve.
my girls look,
If you
but I
go
don't
to
see
See,
you,
back me
right?
up on this, right?
You please
Back
like
me
your
up.
stuff.
Your
You
type
click
one
a button and
personality,
please
type
see
of
what they
personality go away.
That's
What
how you
the
see
fuck
people's
look
pictures.
like out here just
Everyone around you.
I'm
not
not
saying
saying
no, I
that.
don't have that.
I have
You see
85%
what everyone around you
of
is
my
like.
Instagram completely muted. I did not watch
Yeah.
That's how the girls be creeping, Eddie.
That should be
It's not
creepy.
watching. I don't have interest.
That's how they
Like,
know
yo,
it.
One that
Why
doesn't-
my friends like this girl's picture? I'm like, who's this?
Guys, shh, please.
Yeah.
I
I'm
honestly don't have the time.
I think it's my fault.
You shouldn't.
And I feel like the moment I gotta do
I
that,
think it's
I'm gonna have to cut you the fuck off. Because I don't got time for that.
Like someone's
Any
pizza.
gives me enough stress and enough things to do throughout the day that if I got time to be looking at what pictures you liking, nah.
I just look at that, like, say I see that new girls follow, like, my boo. I've been going to all their recent pictures, and if I see it like 3 in a row and you started following her, oh, you're definitely in those DMs.
Wait, what if the
Definitely in
DJ
those DMs.
Mhm.
Oh, let's talk. You know what? That is something I want to talk about because it's super embarrassing when you have a man, you have a boyfriend or something.
And they're in everyone's DMs. That shit is
Oh
super
my
embarrassing.
god!
Especially when you know all the
I would rather a man cheat on me than a bitch tell me, yo, you're using my DMs.
That shit is the most
Right?
horrible feeling.
I'm gonna kill him.
Wait, but there's a
Cheat on
difference-
me. Don't let me find
There's a
out.
difference between DMing and just replying to
No,
a story.
there's-
baby,
no,
no,
there's-
and they're pretty
You know
hard.
what type of DMs I'm talking
It's
about.
different.
They're
You know,
absolutely.
on my episode, I'm talking about that because that's definitely a difference.
There's definitely a
Yeah,
difference.
big
There's a
difference.
difference.
There's a difference.
There's a difference. There's a
I'm not
difference
like,
between.
oh, nice, that's a
No.
good
There's
question
a
or
difference
whatever.
between being an active follower and a fucking creep. There's a
Yeah.
there's
No,
a and there's
no,
a completely.
no. That's
We
like,
got
no.
niggas that be living in them DMs.
In those DMs.
They
Not
be
getting
No,
living
no
there
niggas be
responses.
shoot.
I be in
That's
mad
even
DMs and I just be talking regular. That's, no.
Okay, so now if you're in a relationship, right? Is it okay to like pictures of half naked women?
Is it okay to like pictures?
Yes,
of
you
my-
know, like Instagram eyes, man.
I mean, listen,
They got
it's a
eyes.
new day. It's a new day.
So you think it's cool, right?
That
It's cool
shit,
to
yeah,
give
that
your
shit could be.
I
that
follow
shit
guys
could
when
be-
I'm time and I'm like,
My girl like
Reggie
messages
Bush,
with niggas in gray
like
sweats.
Chris
You know what I mean? Whatever. It is
All right.
what it is.
What
I
about-
know, I posted that shit was a fire pit.
Alright, now what about if your girl's on Instagram posting half naked pictures?
Hell no.
So why is it the other
I
way
have to
around?
post these pictures for barcodes, so y'all better say it's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. It really depends on who she is as a person
Mhm.
and what she does. I mean, because if it's somebody like a bottle girl that's in the industry or maybe even a fucking influencer,
That's
you know
cool.
what I mean? That's how she's making bread.
Okay.
I mean, at the end of the day, you don't want to call them that shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. If she's a regular joint, like I mean, I know my girl. I know she wouldn't post shit like that.
Yeah, yeah.
She likes to, post a little thirst trap every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead,
That's your girl. You don't
get your
know.
attention. I mean, like I'm not Steph Curry. Like I don't mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if my girl wants to get a little attention, so be it. Do your thing. Every girl needs to feel beautiful. You know what I mean? Me telling her that I think she's beautiful every day might be a broken record to her.
Mm-hmm.
So if she wants to hear from somebody else, she wants niggas to comment hard eyes under her shit. Do you, mommy? Know your worth, queen.
Now what about friend requesting people that you don't know? Like say you, for instance, that you're just on Instagram, just adding random bitches you don't even have no idea who they are.
But that's different. Like I'm a DJ, so I be trying to bring bitches to the club.
Okay, so that's your excuse.
So everything you're saying is hypocritical, basically. You're being a hypocrite. You can like half naked pictures, but she can't post it. I can follow bitches, but you better not follow no new niggas.
But it's different. That's my job. That's my job is to create revenue.
It takes a strong woman to
That's
date a DJ.
A strong woman.
I know it.
I mean,
What?
that is literally my job.
It takes a strong, confident, calm.
Very understanding.
It's not that bad.
It's a grown ass woman. That's
A
what
grown-ass
it is.
woman.
I think
A
like-
grown-ass
I think-
little ass girl.
I am
Hey,
not
wait.
it.
Wait, Jason, how you feel? Like,
Steen, I am not the one.
He is not the one. I'm sorry.
Nah, you're good. No, I think that like as for the liking half-naked women and all that, I really feel like at the end of the day, you know what you're walking into. If I'm dating a bottle girl, I know what she has to post. If I'm dating a model, which I've done, again, I know what she has to post daily. I'm not gonna get in between you and your bag. That's number one. Number two is, even if I'm dating you, I know from it's not like you all of a sudden started dropping thirst traps. Like, oh, boom. So my guy, like when you're looking at this girl's Instagram before, don't expect it to change after you start dating the person. If you wanted someone subtle, if you wanted someone who's going to be scholastic or academic, you should have been looking in academia. Don't look in fucking barcode for someone who's going to be working in a library. That being said, barcode empowers women to the max.
It does.
Barcode empowers women to the max. But again, when you walk into that situation, know that girl is not going to be lenient. She's going to be authoritative. She's going to be on top of you. She's going to be on top of her shit, so you better be on your shit.
Eddie would be damned to hear that we go out to the clubs in New York or wherever, and niggas are fucking paying for a bottle. That's the one thing. You want to buy some second bottle, whatever. But we going in there strong.
At least getting one.
At least get one. Because Eddie always tells us, don't bum
represent me.
bitches.
Don't bum bitches.
But that's the thing. Eddie knows exactly what the fuck he's doing.
And all the girls at Barco can speak.
Can we touch on that? Can we touch on that for a second? Can we touch on? Can we really touch on that?
Yeah.
So I think the same way you guys are talking about this is the way you guys should talk about your relationships. When you're in a relationship is when you represent their brand. And I think, me specifically, and I know you're gonna probably agree with me on this subject, especially when we have a girlfriend, it doubles down because now you're my brand. You're a part of it. You know what I mean? You have to empower what I'm trying to do as well as I'm trying to empower what you're trying to do. When he says he doesn't want to walk into a club and have a girl holding his hand, fuck the whole club. I get that. But more so, don't twerk on the bar. Don't be dancing around. I don't want to see you drunk out. And don't look at me and say, hey, I saw you drinking. I control myself in my own environment. This is my environment. You're in my club right now. You're in my workspace. Act accordingly. I would not come to your office at JP Morgan drunk, tipsy, or even with a shirt tucked out. I'm going to come respectful. I'm going to wear my glasses that day. Whatever it takes to make you look good in your workspace. And people do not respect our industry workspace. We are in a workplace. This is our environment to make money. If we don't make money here, we can't pay rent. We don't have 3 jobs. We're not working part-time. This is our job. And when people come to our job, they have to treat us with respect and represent us the right way. That's the way I feel about nightlife relationships.
That's wow.
That's valid.
100%. That's the way it fucking is.
Alright, let's move on. But you guys,
that was a real good subject. Shit.
And you got to highlight
This is the industry talk pop-up.
It is.
Alright, I think Lex is going to take the lead.
Alright, Lex, what we got?
Oh, Lex in the cut. Okay, Lex.
You got Lex over here.
Lex.
Go on, Lex.
Hold on.
Lex.
There you go.
Lex, I fuck with you the heaviest because your voice. You know, you got the voice like me. So I do really appreciate you. People say we sound alike a little bit.
I like Lex because I had a thing for Evie Queen.
I'm going to the day that I get my wig on, I'm going to send Marty a picture.
Alright, let her go. Come on.
Alright, come on.
You can do it.
She said, give me 1 second. Just want to catch her breath.
Alright,
You can do it. Come on.
are we starting this game?
Come on, man.
Hold on. Alright, go.
It's like Jimmy Fallon.
Alright, it's gonna be Marry, Smash, Kill. So this one's gonna go for Steen and Jaz.
We can't say kill, fuck, marry?
Mary go first. It's Mary Smash Kill.
That's how the game goes. Okay.
She knows how to do that. Come on.
Okay, so it's gonna be the bus boys from Barcode.
First of all, I don't know their names, so
This is not even appropriate.
I'd be like, baby.
Damn, for real.
Yo, for real. I want to know that.
You gotta put a picture of them, Lex.
made this
Go ahead.
question. Make sure.
Caesar, Andres, or Diego?
What? That's
I don't know.
Lex, you gotta have a picture of them.
Should've came with
I
this
got
one.
the Sky. I
Oh,
got the
Diego's
Sky.
cute. Oh, Diego. Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
I would marry Cesar. I love Cesar.
Cesar is the name.
Wait, you know which one is which? You know which one is which? Cesar? You know which one is Cesar, right?
That don't make sense because
Cesar,
people on the outside don't relate to it.
Yeah, no one knows
Switch
about
it up. Next
I'm gonna
question.
take out the interview.
Good. Thank God I didn't have to tell which busboy I'm gonna fuck.
That nigga was like,
Do not
yeah, he's about to be like, oh, far back.
Everybody was watching this shit like,
Don't take it, take the payroll.
All the bus boys was in there heavy.
Yeah, he was about to be like, I like the way.
That's what I'm
The bus was in the back just waiting right now. Like, oh,
Back, like,
if they cut my tip out, I might just want to.
Silencio. Go ahead, Lex.
Fast Life, Drewski, or Hollywood?
Oh.
Wow.
We're gonna throw it back to the old episode.
Oh.
Nah, you gotta go to the new ones, man. You gotta use like Funk Flex,
Damn,
like
Eddie's
like
trash.
Alright,
Let Eddie pick it. All right, Eddie, go ahead, Eddie. Which three, Eddie?
Flex, Pro Style, or Big Head, motherfucker.
Who's the big head?
Damn, Eddie.
Who the fuck is the big head?
Damn, Eddie.
Horse.
You know what? After we finish this,
I know.
Okay.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
I'm gonna marry. I'm scared to say it, but Alex is good. I'm gonna kill Alex and you fuck with my boy Eddie.
Word, we got like
That's it. You died. It's over for you. All right. With that being said, I'm gonna marry Fun Flex, and I'm gonna fuck Pro
You're not
Style.
gonna drop a bomb on that.
Bitch, you better kill that nigga.
Well, my list. It's very easy.
Ain't nobody Jewish on this list.
Well, yeah, no, I'm sorry. Well, Flex was my boss, so I'm gonna marry him because we're gonna have those relationships where you don't have sex. He was like my mentor. Definitely
Shout out
gonna
to
Alex.
Flex.
Alex gotta go.
Alex, you dead, bro. You dead.
That's what happens when you take bookies across the street, bro.
It's over for you.
Take those bookies across the street.
And then after.
Oh, no.
We bark on like for real.
Okay.
We loyal.
Yeah, for Pro Style, I'm definitely smashing that because he's cute and he's Dominican.
He is cute.
He's so cute.
He's Dominican? I thought he was Greek or something.
No, he's Dominican.
Post style.
And his girl's Palestinian and Brazilian.
Yeah, his girl.
Like, good question.
Wait, I got one more for you guys. Mike Ruga, Reggie, or Julian?
How you been into this?
We all married. Somebody
I will plead the fifth.
You can't plead the fucking fifth. Oh, hell no.
Like, just you first.
I'm gonna marry Reggie because I love him.
knew that was happening.
Oh, he knew that.
No, I'm sorry, Reggie. You have to fuck me. I'm sorry.
I guess.
I'm gonna
You
marry
can do it.
Julian's very nice. Julian makes hookahs, so therefore that's the trait that I'm looking for in my future husband. I'll marry him, and he drinks a lot of water, so it's cool.
You know, we stay
My
hydrated.
third, Mike Booby, you gotta go, because you're always trying to come for me, so.
Yo, we killing Mike Ruga again here? That's second time today, Mike. They've been murdering you all day.
All right, now the guy's turn.
Now it's your turn. What you talking about,
You can do
Willis?
it.
I'm never playing this game.
Yo, Reggie, she gonna be the milk to your coffee, boy.
I'm really scared to kill Mike Ruga, so baby, I'm gonna marry you.
Yeah, but you guys like each
We
other.
ride or die. Me and Mike Ruga ride or die. You always got my back.
You're gonna have two niggas fighting for you now?
Wow. I'm
You
done.
got-
She set
I'm gonna
herself
marry
up
Mike
for that
Ruga because
one.
I'm gonna laugh a lifetime. So I'm gonna marry him.
That's sweet.
Reggie and Julian, come on.
Yo.
We always
Reggie
have a
about to
crazy.
die.
I love Julian, but I have a thing for light skinned guys, so I'm gonna have to fuck.
Let's go, Reggie.
Wait, you know, wait.
You know, definitely wait. We here.
I have a thing for
Let's make it
light
nasty.
skinned guys and pretty eyes.
Let's make it nasty.
Oh, Reggie, you in there.
I
She's
can't
not
do
an eye.
it.
She's not an eye with a nice
My
eye.
boy, go ahead, Reg.
I would want to have babies. Like at 30, if I have kids, I'm probably gonna hit up Reggie. So.
Reggie.
I make pretty babies.
Yeah, he has a good job on Wall Street.
Hard sis.
Leo, you need some Nutella pizza, Leo.
Shameless push.
Julian.
Ew.
If there was a side bitch option, you would be the side bitch. Okay.
Damn, bro.
That's my favorite position.
You should have just let that. Like, you didn't have to.
Let it ride. Don't worry, Julian. I gotta kill him. I can't kill him.
I know.
I'm mad.
All right.
Look,
Okay.
side nigga's the best
Okay.
position.
I feel you.
Ooh, ready? Ready? Jazz, Steen, and Lex.
I thought she asked the question.
I'm asking the question. It's my show. I can ask whatever.
I gotta go first.
Jaz, Steen, what?
This is a great question.
I don't even know how to play this game.
Pretty smart.
I don't know how to play this game.
Think with your head.
I don't really play
Your head.
Reggie stupid. I knew you meant that head.
We're
So, Marty,
listening.
Nah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Marty.
Alright, I'm a Steen. I'm
Oh, yeah,
sorry.
pass that.
I'm trying to fix that.
That's what happens. You want to ask the question, you get killed.
Sorry, Steen.
You wanted it.
Politics. Politics over there.
I'm gonna smash legs and marry her because she can cook.
I like that.
I can't cook, baby. You right. You good over there.
That's a good one.
You good. I can't cook for you. I give you cereal. Sandwiches.
I have lots of spicy skills, guys.
Burns waters.
All right,
By the way,
Jason.
Jackson cooked great and Spanish food. I know she white, but she nice.
Yeah, and Peruvian food too.
Oh, yeah, Reggie's on my Friendsgiving.
What?
God, Marty, I've never been killed. It feels pretty shitty.
I mean, I know, like your ex thing, so that's weird. I mean, like I can't eat what somebody else ate. I mean, like I can't do it.
Nigga, you literally live
You
on
know,
the
but it's okay.
Nah, like if it,
Not like
like,
that, though.
I mean, it's different. It's different. Like that shit was like, it was an emotional attachment. So like, I mean, if he hit,
Yo, it's a question, bro. It's not like
Jason, your turn. Me, Steen,
I'm like plead the fifth, like she did.
No. You have
I had to answer, honey.
bro, if I answered, you have that.
I had to answer. That was a hard one.
Talk that talk, man.
Alright, so what's my options? The three of you, basically.
Steen.
In the room. Y'all didn't pick
Jaz,
nobody in the room
and
but
Lex.
Reggie. Now we
Oh,
pick
we're
three
gonna
people in the
talk
room right now.
Nah, Julian behind you.
Facts, man, my man.
Julian was killed without me. So.
Oh, you white.
I mean, you're Israeli, I'm Jewish. I feel like, you know.
Yeah, we can get married. My mom's pretty
Your
happy.
mom would be happy.
She doesn't really care. My brother's gay. He's married to a dude, so she doesn't really care about the whole.
Yeah.
We're as progressive as it gets when it comes to that. But nah, she would love a Jewish.
Nice little Jewish.
So we get married. You're gonna have to shape up your Hebrew. My mom speaks fluent Hebrew.
I mean, I
French.
can read it and write it.
You
My
speak French?
Spanish
You
is
speak
fluent.
French?
I speak Spanish fluent.
My mom speaks French, Arabic, English, and Hebrew. We all speak Hebrew.
I mean, my Hebrew it's okay. It's not great, but it's enough that I can find.
Alright, so we getting married.
Say your name, Jaz.
We getting married. There'll be some fucking involved too.
You'll
So.
put some schmutz on your face.
Some
Matzah everywhere, man.
You gonna be the spread on your mouth.
Guys, it's Yom Kippur. We can't talk about these horrible, unholy
Nah, it's over. You're looking for it in that
Fuck, I didn't know you knew that.
He gonna make you some matzo balls too.
Okay.
I do cook like all day long.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, so it's a done deal. Okay.
The guys behind you can all attest. They've all had my food. We've all
fire.
enjoyed it. Yep.
Okay. So
Elevate, Nico. Don't be quiet. They like you ain't take down 18 fried chicken pieces the other week.
fried chicken.
Alright, who you marrying? Who you killing?
So I gotta marry Jaz.
Okay.
I'm gonna kill you. That's
He said that quick.
That was
You just
decisive.
never said the wig comment.
No. It's definitely nothing to do with the way. We're just 2A1. We're 2A1 personalities. It would not work, as I said. Like I said from the beginning. You're saved in my phone as Steen Boss barcode. Because I know what that come with, man. I know what that comes with.
What does that come with? Eddie G?
No, I mean,
You see Eddie?
I should go with
You
a lot
see
of
what
lot.
you
No, he's saying you want
your
business
loyalty is
pleasure.
always going to be to barcode because you've been here the longest. You have skin in the game. You're invested in it.
And that's a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing if I'm trying to empower you to do that completely. But if I'm trying to build my own vision and trying to build my own brand, that will be overshadowed by whatever you're doing at all times, which is okay. But when it's in the same field, it's really difficult to work in. If you're a producer and a rapper, you guys are both elevating each other's brands while creating each other's brands. But when you're in the same field as someone trying to grow in the same field, it's completely difficult. That being said, yo, shorty.
You wanna get that jewel drain on?
You know what that means?
Damn, like, at least this one you didn't get killed all over.
You know what that means?
You know what that means?
How tall are you? How tall are you?
5'2".
5'2". I'm 6'4".
You know what's good?
Talk that talk.
I'm 6'4". We 69. You came to my belly button. You're not even reaching.
You know he's been
What?
Sweet. Lex was killed.
Jason.
Lex was killed all over last week.
You're not reaching.
It's depressing.
What? Her being short?
No. Last week Lex was killed.
Oh, you're not getting killed. Why you getting? She's sweet. She's so
She was
sweet.
killed last week.
Every time I come here, she's the first person to say hi to me. No, I go to my corner, I sit down, she'll run up. Hey, how are you? What's
So
up?
I've been
everything.
killed.
As a
I mean, she
host,
charges me at the end, really come in, but
I've been killed.
Julian, you and I, we're in the same funeral, okay?
I'm sure you'll kill me if I come up on this.
Well, let's ask him.
I mean, unless they put me with like, you know,
I'll go
You
next.
niggas dying.
Hitler and
That's it.
Mussolini, like pretty much.
Gee,
it.
I'm
Right.
gonna
Go
hit
ahead,
him.
go ahead. Who's next?
Who's next?
What's next?
So Lexi has to ask.
We gotta go again.
Lexi has to ask.
we gotta go again.
We gotta do this again.
Black
Last
China,
three.
Amber Rose, or Kim Kardashian.
Oh, this is easy. Okay, like.
Alright.
We do this on our show. You know, we do the exact questions. Season 1, episode 1 to Big Bang.
This is light work.
Oh, will you say
I'm
Amber?
marrying Amber Rose.
Ew.
I'm smashing
Why?
Kim and killing Black
Because
China.
her head is whack.
Yo, you
Rose.
so stupid.
Hey, you
You
got
think
no
so?
shot.
Rose.
No shot.
Why would you
feel
marry
good
her?
if it's-
I'm definitely killing Black
She's
China.
a billionaire.
Killing
So
Black China.
this fucking mother,
Who'd have
nigga.
thought?
No,
Did it work?
it's out there.
No, I
Wait.
got skipped.
You
Jason
said,
is killing
you
Black
said
China.
Kim Kardashian, Black China,
And
and
Amber.
Amber. You gotta marry Kim. I mean, that's
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have married Kim too.
I gotta think for
This is
bald-headed
a
bitches that don't wear wigs.
I'm thinking like $500 million is what I'm thinking.
That's what I'm thinking.
I don't even know why I said
it
that.
This is the dumbest question. This
I'm
is
thinking
a dumb
okay.
question, to be honest. Whoever picked these three, like Amber Rose is
Not.
obviously
We
getting
get
fucked.
some-
Yeah,
I'll put
I'm
you
not
Black
gonna
China
be-
is gonna be like sex tape, like with you.
Jazz,
Like,
do you
no.
wanna ask a question? You wanna do a Mary Smash, right? We should ask Eddie. We should ask Eddie.
No, you shouldn't. That's your boss. Y'all niggas don't have HR.
Yo,
rules.
they are in charge.
I saw that interview. That
Listen.
discussion.
That all started with Eddie G.
That's your
What is y'all?
I'm gonna go back to that conversation.
We hadn't even thought
Are
of
we talking about eating ass? Like,
Who
you
was
guys
that?
eating ass?
We are not gonna talk about
Eddie's not here.
Nobody on Barcode does things.
Wait, y'all really do that?
I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, no.
Wait, but Eddie, are you the eater or the EE?
I eat ass.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you ate though.
It's been attempted a few times.
Eddie, for real. By the way,
Reggie stood up for that
Reggie better sit your ass down, Reggie.
For real?
Yo, me and
It's because you're black.
My nigga, look.
I never, ever.
Me and Reggie have been arguing about this for
Yeah.
now.
It's like a good friend of mine said he had a story. And
I don't know.
when they had his legs up in the air, he felt like he was doing, "We are the world, we are the children."
That's the problem. Like, I just feel weird putting my legs in the air. Like,
I will get the ring on to your
Oh, shit.
You ready for this?
What?
All right. Okay. Let's see here. I gotta think of girls. This is attractive.
Oh, we're doing
It
kill.
can't be people that we
No,
know.
let's do female DJs.
You know I'm picky.
Let's do female DJs.
Oh, I know. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
It's
So
for Eddie.
stuff games.
No.
Yeah, but
You don't know her.
Eddie,
I've seen it.
yeah, Eddie's
I'm not
like-
into that fucking little pop world.
No.
where you
She
got-
valid
All right,
too.
Eddie, ready?
Pop
Okay.
world.
We're gonna do Giselle. What's her last name? The Brazilian model.
Giselle Bundchen,
Yeah.
You know who that is?
Yep.
the Brazilian model.
From Victoria's Secret.
Yeah.
Tom Brady's wife.
Okay, her, Giselle.
Giselle Brady.
Yeah.
Adriana Lima.
Adriana Lima.
Ooh, that's one of your. You like those girls.
Adriana Lima look like she
And
tastes like
Ida. You marry Ida.
Why me?
Coke.
Why y'all put me with two Victoria's Secret models? Bullshit is this?
Because she
Christina
wants you to die too.
Why?
Yeah.
Why are they gonna go with Victoria's Secret
These girls
models?
will marry you because you'll laugh forever.
Steve just
I
wants
wanna
you
eat gummies and drink.
Yo,
Steve wants you to die like she did.
Go ahead, you
I'm
go.
definitely gonna marry Ida.
You
You know why? Because even if I kill one of those bitches, there's gonna be a shitload that we go over and I go, oh, it's right there. I'm taking that shit home too. And then when the bitch wants to stay because she realized how dope the fucking lifestyle is, she's gonna kick the fucking ass and get the fuck home.
There you go.
Yo, fuck, why? This is my bodyguard right here. Alright, babe. I did this bitch out of
Alright, guys, we're getting on topic. Let's
I really cried, guys. You guys got me
that's
this
what I
time.
wanted to know if I could marry Ida, and I was right. That's
Yeah.
how I know him.
Nigga, I got UFC in the house.
Alright. Alright, let's get on the
Shit.
Why did Steve start this
Jason.
shit?
Jason.
We're trying to tone Eddie down. She's trying to bring you
Enough
up.
of the fucking shenanigans.
I like it.
So, what is the Jason experience? Because you are really so popular. I see you everywhere, and I don't really know exactly like what your whole movement is about. So I want to know.
Jason is so popular, I would wear his boxing.
Wait, I have to tell a story real quick. I work in New York, right? I manage a gym out there, and one of the girls that is actually one of my if I know her, she was like, "Oh my God, you know the Jason experience?"
She had a blue TJE.
Yo, let her talk.
So I was
Oh,
like, yeah, I'm like, he's actually on my podcast tomorrow. She was like, oh my God, he's so cute. Blah 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 blah.
Girls be
She was
talking about you.
I seen him in the club and we were hanging out. I was like, ooh, okay, sis. I said, good job, that's a good one.
The streets talk about you.
That's my life. Jason was teaching
These girls in Jersey be asking about you. Trust me.
Lies. It's
She's
complete
from New
lies.
York though.
I really don't believe that.
I believe it because she brought it up to me, and how would she know? Like, I didn't even post that you were on the show yet.
You knew.
Uh-huh.
That's what I'm
did
saying.
you just recently start following her? Because you know the activity buddy was still alive about a week ago.
This was yesterday in the daytime. But anyway, so explain to us what the Jason experience is.
I created the company basically it was a promotional group at its inception. At its inception, I was waitering tables for like bar mitzvahs and really like just any Jewish waitering gig I can get basically. And then I would use that money to pay for a photographer, and a photographer would take pictures at the venue, and then I would put my logo on it. Before I would make any money, I would buy like cups, merch. My objective was always to get my brand out there. I had a 10-year rollout plan before I even started. So over the course of time, my whole objective was really to create a brand because I knew that's where it was going. Social media is going towards a one dominant brand that's going to umbrella effect into now having income fluctuate throughout that umbrella effect. And I knew that was going to come from the beginning. You know, people were worried about having 10 girls at their table. That never really bothered me. If you want to own a 7-Eleven, you're going to own one. If you're going to be the Coke bottle in 7-Eleven, you're going to be in every single 7-Eleven. And to me, that was more important, building the brand. And then I just continued to grow. I mean, the first stage was really just getting my stuff out there, so I was really vulgar at the beginning. You seeing like a really different person. So in the beginning, it's a lot of champagne spraying, it's a lot of craziness. But that was the first year. That was the objective, really get out there. The second year, we booked every artist in the game. Like every single artist you could think of, from 6ix9ine to Nicki Minaj to Travis Scott to Lil' Kim to Louis G to Waka Flocka, Fetty Wap, everybody you could think of. The second year was to get recognized by our peers. And we strictly wanted to get that recognition from them. Our third year was focused on now stabilizing the company. We have what we're supposed to. Let's build infrastructure. So we built an office. We fired half the team. Anybody who was involved with drugs, we fired. We made sure that everybody was to brand, to the vision, to the point. That was year 3. Year 4 was the expansion. Is where we're at right now. We did Philadelphia 4 times in the past year. We did New Jersey, which including Barcode headliner. We're doing Mr. East in a couple weeks. We've been doing Jersey a lot, in the summertime, and then Boston. We're coming to Massachusetts, Connecticut, and that expansion is going to go up the middle. A lot of people went to LA, they went to Las Vegas. I said, no, you know what? Forget the Flash, forget Miami, forget the fake Lamborghinis. Let's stick with Bridge and Tunnel. That's our demographic. We want the people making $80,000 a year, $90,000 a year. Those people are not spending their last $1,000 to flex. They're spending money that they set aside because they're a part of a culture and a lifestyle that they've been following, which is the Jason experience. We throw 10 annual events a year. Those annual events you can just save up to and come. So it's while having weekly parties, throwing annual parties, those have become my promoters. Pajama Fest, the Bikini Yacht Party, Valentine's Day Treasure Hunt. Those are my promoters because they're promotional brands that we built up. After the expansion, we built Industry Talk. Industry Talk was our podcast that we created, which was on local radio in New Jersey, and then we brought it to the Function House. Again, the objective of that was to bridge the gap between the industry and the normal person. I never thought that I sat on a date and I told the girl I was a promoter and she worked for Goldman Sachs and she couldn't take me seriously. And I felt that if I'm making 90 or whatever it is that I'm making a year and I'm creating a professional environment for me and my promoters to work in, why can't we be respected on that level? I think it's going to take time and maturity to get to that. But again, that was the objective of the show, to create this bridge between the regular person that doesn't understand nightlife and the people that are working in nightlife, such as ourselves and everybody in this room that's grown and has made a living off this business.
Perception and reality.
Yeah, bridge the gap between perception and reality. That was really our goal with the show. And we've done it. We've interviewed Camilo, Funk Flex, Shortcuts, Melted Bars, DJ Enough, who's big with DJ.
We were the first people to interview Funk Flex in over 20 years.
Yep. See, yeah, we've accomplished a lot with that.
An interview, like been interviewed in over 20 years before he came to the Funk.
So we did Industry Talk, and then again, Industry Talk season 4 is going into.
How'd you get Funk Flex?
Again, my relationship with Flex goes back to Champagne Thursdays and the brand that I've created, and he reached out to me to DJ at that venue. And again, we spoke for a couple hours and we created a relationship. Over time, I just asked him, hey, Flex, I need you on the show. And that's it. And it's basically how it went. And then same thing with Camilo, same thing with Enough. I didn't book those guys, but again, we built a platform. We stayed exclusive. We called up our people. We never, ever let anybody dictate how we're going to narrate our show. We kept to brand, and we continue to deliver a substance that nobody else really does. You know what I mean? People in our industry don't have a platform to talk about the insecurities they go through. They don't have a platform to talk about the day-to-day activities and how they're not getting paid on time and how they go from a 3,000 club at Barcode and then they're home alone in a room wearing all their designer shit, but now the lights are not on. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to talk about that, but why can't we talk about that as an industry? Why can't we talk about the fact that 80% of influencers are now not going to be able to get paid in clubs because at the end of the day, all they were doing was a job that the promoters were supposed to be doing. All these waitresses that are promoters right now, why are they promoting events? They should be getting paid to promote and to get paid to bottle service. They should not just get paid one way. It's absurd what's going on in the industry. So all these nuances is what we're trying to do. Now, season 4, we're going into the venue. We're going to give you documentaries on each venue specifically. Barcode, Headliner, OneNote, stuff like that. We're going to go into the venue, show you the day-to-day activity, show you the back end, and we're actually going to break down each and every single venue, top to bottom. And I think that's
actually complain with bottle girls that they feel like they should be getting paid to promote.
Yeah, of course, and I believe so as well.
Wait. You see, but you guys looking at it from one side of the angle. You gotta look at it because they actually are getting paid. Let me tell you.
I will debate this with you. I really will in like 30 seconds. But let me just finish my train of thought real quick. Now, our third company, which we opened up, was Moculus, which is the guy behind you. His name is Mo. We wanted to open up a media company, as you've done before. We got tired of renting stuff. I got tired of renting CO2 tanks. I got tired of renting fondue stations, cotton candy machines, popcorn machines. So this year we've invested into all these things and we've created a media company where we're able to come and produce you a brunch. We're able to come produce you a show. And I think that was the objective in the first place, was to create 3 brands just like you did, which is Lobby, Lit 21, and Barcode, and connect them. But in my sense, I'm on the ground, so I wanted to create 3 companies that I'm able to come into your venue and say, hey, Eddie, I can give you the Jason Experience pop-up. That's going to kick in 3-4K in revenue promotion. I can give you industry talk on the same day, interview your whole staff, and showcase your venue. And then on top of that, I can add Moculus and produce the party, edit the footage, create all the other stuff that you need me to create. And I think with the creation of those 3 brands, we're going to be able to pop up in a lot of cities and do a lot of damage. Now, to your point with the bottle girls, it started in the strip clubs. With Lust, it started with Starlets. When they took the girls and they decided, hey, instead of using promoters, let me take each girl, make them make a drop, make them make a video before every single night. Now, I agree with you. They're getting paid. But, again, if you're now in a culture where the bottle girl is the promoter and is the bottle waitress, then, yeah, they should be getting 25% on a bottle. I don't give a fuck.
But what's the difference? Like, I started in the game 10 years ago, right? And the only way I would make money if I was working alone or during the day was if I had regulars.
Yeah.
So I had to promote. I had to tell people, listen, come see me. And back then, Instagram was still around, so was Facebook, but I mean, I had to promote myself, and I knew that was part of my job, because if I didn't, I wouldn't have them regulars come in, and I wouldn't make shit. Because what we pay is, $2.35 an hour?
You gotta plug it in.
So my thing is, I don't understand how, and I can speak based on his side, and a bottle girl and a bartender side. Like, part of your job in this industry is to build regulars, to build a clientele, so they can come in and tip you, and you can make money. Because you know what we pay you isn't shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's very selfish and it's stupid to think that you're entitled to 25% of whatever it is. We're giving you a platform. We're giving you the liquor. We're giving you the bar. We're giving you the tools to produce.
Okay.
So wait. So if that's the case, are you going to help us pay our rent? Are you going to help us pay this and this, that, and the third? If you're going to come in as a partner and you believe you deserve a percentage, then you should be paying percentage of the business as well.
Again, as a promoter, I'm not going to demand nothing that I don't provide.
So about bottle girls.
So now, if you're talking about, again,
and
so the New Jersey format is as follows. Let me hire 30 beautiful girls, correct? And I space them out, and whoever has the most regulars gets booked. In New York, I'm going to book the 7 best girls I know in the city, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 3 of them on a Tuesday and say, hey, fuck you, this is the day you're not going to make money, Tuesday, Wednesday. Now, because you work Tuesday and Wednesday, you can work my $45,000, $60,000 bar on a Saturday and a Friday. This is how the New York format is.
It should be like that.
Now, I agree with you that the format might not work to what you're trying to build, which is now growth from the bottom. You want there to be growth from a bottle waitress. You want them to have skin in the game because you're a proprietary owner to whatever you have. But when you're talking a brand like One Oak or Marquee, they are such a big brand to the point where they don't care if you grow.
you are.
They don't care if you're aligned to what they want to do. All they want you to do is align to their rules and regulations. Look the part, play the part. We'll bring you the clients. You be the waitress. That's our format.
We're talking about two.
I agree with you, but
you're talking about two totally different types of business.
Yes.
See, as an owner, I could describe both nightclubs to you.
Of course.
The kind that you said in New York about the ones that don't require the bottle girls to do nothing. If you got 20 tables, I would say maybe 10 or 12 are drinking for free. They get promoters to come in and bring in a whole bunch of girls to party for free. And then the club is paying them once that table is full, because the average guy who's spending in New York, they're probably around for the weekend. They'll probably just come around maybe 7-8 times a year.
Right.
So that guy wants to have a great time with his 4 or 5 friends. Tell him, yo, I know this cool guy at this club. And then they set him around with 20 different girls. That club does not need a girl to bring her, because the promoter that's being booked to do a certain job at that time has a specific kind of clientele that's going to drop the $30,000, $40,000 tables. Now, let's talk about the urban world. We're not talking because, but again, you name some clubs, but you also have to name what kind of market they are. They're not the average club that, for example, that lives in the hood, in the Heights, is not that. We're talking about old mid Manhattan. Now let's talk about the other brand of club, which is the one that we have over here, okay? Those are the nightclubs that depend on the people walking into the door. Those are the clubs that are not going to have the $10,000 customer. Never. And those are the clubs that are not also ever going to have a secure number at the door, because you could have a great Saturday night of 1,000 people, and you could have the next Saturday night of 300 or 400 people. So at this point, this is when everybody has a skin in the game, because when you have a venue and the venue produces XYZ funds, they're able to stay afloat. If you are a bottle girl and you are a bartender and nobody walks in through that door, no matter what you can negotiate, from what percentage you can negotiate or what money you're expecting to get paid, if those people are not walking in through that door, you ain't making no fucking money.
Yep.
So it's not that it's obligation of the bartender. If anything, it's more being smart. Take advantage of the club while it's hot. Build a fan base. And when you are in your turn to work that bar, let them know what you're going to be working at. So that bartender at the end of the night builds more clientele, but at the same time is also pleasing the few customers that came in to support her.
I'm not arguing the point that the bottle waitress should be promoting a venue that doesn't have promoters such as this and such as the places that are affluent to now having the waitresses being the number one people. I'm saying is,
I think it's more teamwork, because it's everybody.
I'm saying is, if Steen brings in $5K personally, she should win. She should get 25% on that $5K, because she's the one that bought into the building. She should get a promotional fee, and she should get a bottle service fee.
But listen.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what?
If you're gonna tell the
now
girls,
you're talking about percentages. I had this argument with an actual a promoter from New York. You see, the problem is most of the clubs in New York, they're not all rocking right now. So there's a big thing going down right now in the average Midtown club. Now, when people talk about percentages, let's talk about numbers. Let's say, I want to get 25% of the bar. So I started asking myself, why is it that everybody asks for 20%?
Again, we're not talking about promoters right now, though. We're talking about bottle waitresses. Let's stick to bottle waitresses.
Bottle girls.
We're not talking about percentages. Let's talk about bottle girls right now, specifically. If a bottle girl brings in a client.
If you let me speak, I'm going to break it down to you.
Let's get it.
Okay, because I'm this right now, the way I'm breaking it down this hits promoters and bottle girls, or even bartenders. Let me tell you how it works. In New York City, when you ask somebody, when you're charging $800 for a bottle of Hennessy, it's not the same way that a bottle girl is making over here, because over here a bottle of Hennessy is maybe in my club is $280 all in, right? So when you do the math, people say, "Oh, but yo, you buy that bottle for $40, $50, you're making all this money on it." No, because but if you pay back the bottle, is what, $45, $50. The remaining money is supposed to be your net. Not true. when you add the cost of liquor, when you add the cost of lighting, electricity, DJs, marketing, the whole thing, that bottle really costs you $220. Now, when you do the math comparing to New York and you're charging $800,
plus.
you're talking about that bottle that cost you in Jersey as an owner to operate $180, that's only giving you $100 profit. In New York City, that same bottle is giving you $600 profit. So when you give somebody 25%, 25% in New York is cool because after you give that percentage out, you still left with 400 and something. More than if you would have made it in the Jersey side. So when people talk to me about percentages and numbers, whether it's a bartender or whether it's a promoter, the reality is that those are the reasons why most clubs go out of business. Because idiots out here who are supposed to know about the business because they buy into these fucking clubs thinking they're going to make the fucking money that they never made before, they don't realize that now the first thing they do when they open up a club, they start looking at all the clubs that are opening up around them or that exist around them to compare prices. When every club out here is charging $220 or $100 bottles and all that stuff, these motherfuckers want to be stupid enough to compare themselves to them. But then then the next problem kicks in. You do $100 bottles. Now you're giving that bottle girl 25%. You're left with $75. After the $75, you got to pay $50 to replace that bottle. You left with $25. After you left with those $25, do your math. You're broke. And that's why all these clubs go out of business. They're fucking idiots.
To your exact point about the promoters, I think that specifically promoters, if you're gonna say in New York City that we're getting percentages off, let's say completely a bottle, therefore we shouldn't get 25% because there's a lot more to play with. That's why we get that percentage. But again, I don't get paid until we hit 20K. If the club doesn't hit 20K, I don't see a check. Now that being said, I understand your objection to having girls.
Yeah, but that's only 25 bottles.
Okay, fine.
The average bottle in New York is $700.
I still gotta sell 25 bottles.
Not you. The whole club is gotta sell.
No. I gotta sell. My bar's gotta hit that number. Else I'm not.
But wait,
paid.
when you talk about my bar, is it the full venue?
Full venue.
Okay,
yeah.
Then listen. If you're in a
But
club charging $600 a bottle and you cannot hit 20K,
our debate doesn't exist within what I'm providing. Our debate's within the margins. Is there enough margins to create percentage for bottle girls to make more money based off the fact that they're promoting as well as they're making bottle service? And my answer to you is this: what if we made a collective? What if we did Steen? What if we did the whole team? What if it's, let's say, hey, if the bar hits 50K tonight, I'm gonna give my bottle.
Well, for example, you know what though?
As an owner, we don't have the right. I mean, I'm management, so I have the right.
But you know what? He pays back in different ways, though. That is very true.
As an owner that has put everything on the line for his business, nobody has the right to those numbers. If he wants to, like Eddie, he's a different type of owner.
Okay, for example, the way I think is that he pays back. You know the way I think he thinks.
As a collective
barcode is in my business. You ask me for the bar numbers, I'm gonna look at you like you're
okay, but you know what? So investing. A question though. So if him investing back into the same club I work in and expanding it more, making more clientele, making it bigger, more capacity, all that. So I'm helping expand his brand as well. Isn't he not investing in me and technically paying me? He added a pool. I'm making 3 times more money because a pool is there. So isn't that an investment? Instead of paying me straight up like that, and you're investing in the same spot I'm working in, I'm making more money.
Unless you're paying your taxes and paying like
because as a bartender, I would never expect him to pay what I get sell. Because you know what? I'm calling people in because I'm gonna make more money. So I am getting paid by that because I'm getting the extra dollars that him as the club owner wasn't providing those customers. I brought them. He gave me this X amount of customers. I brought this X amount. So now look at that. I made hella money because it has to be both ways. I mean, I'm marketing myself on top of that. And I do it mostly because I'm gonna make that money regardless. That money, anything come easy always goes easy.
Not having to pay promoters, not having to pay marketing, not having to pay payroll, not having to pay cooks.
I don't want to deal with that sometimes. Like, you know, if I'm bartending, like I don't want to think about that.
Different entities. We're comparing Barcode to clubs that are owned by hospitality groups.
We're not. The debate has got nothing to do with any of this. The debate is very simple. Does there exist enough percentage to pay out bottle girls within the margins of the bottle prices?
In Jersey,
according to his margins,
and you could, but you know what? If you actually want to play that game, then you could do it. But then the bottle, I'm still gonna get my $280. What I'm gonna do
is add a show fee, 28% on top. I get it.
Okay, no. You add another $20 on the bottle or whatever, another $30. The only problem is this.
We're ripping off our customers.
You're not ripping off the customer because the customer's going to pay what the price is. But you know what the customer's going to do? Now they're going to compare, do I have enough money to go and spend $320 for a bottle plus gratuity and all that stuff, or should we just go to this other place that we've also had a great time? So at this point, you also want to give your club exclusivity to a certain point, but after a certain point, you're just going to also put yourself out of business. And I'm going to give you another perfect example. Right now, everybody talks about Barcode, right? Barcode's dope.
Killing it.
All right, let me give you another example.
On fire.
Well, do you know why Barcode exists? Because I used the same theory on the opposite side when I had Coco Bongo. Let me tell you what I did with Coco Bongo, which is the most stupid shit. Everybody talks about, I want VIP, right? Okay, I could say you could accomplish that when you got a place for about 250 people. But let's be realistic. How many people, when you got a place like Barcode that's now going to hold 6,000 people, okay? If I make my club to the point where everybody has to go and save for months to come out to the club, then I'm definitely going to be doing the wrong thing. I'm building a club that the average person, from the person that makes $20,000 a year to the person that makes $500,000 a year, everybody is equal in my place. When I had Coco Bongo, let me tell you, I used to do about 1,100 people on a regular Saturday night. And you know what I started noticing to the end? That out of my 30 VIPs that I had, I would probably only have 10 full. We're talking about 1,200 people cramped up into one fucking room, and maybe 60-70% of my VIPs completely empty because I'm forcing people to buy bottles, and the bottle prices are not within their limits. Why? When you start asking people, another thing that killed the culture of nightclubs, you might be a Hennessy drinker or a whiskey drinker. Whatever I drink might not be the same thing that you drink. So now I have to go to a club and we all have to buy our own separate liquors. That is what's also killing the industry. Listen, people are tired on a daily basis, told what they have to do, how much they got to spend, just so I could be able to listen to the same fucking music that every motherfucker is playing. And let's be realistic, that is one of the biggest problems in our industry. Everybody playing the same music and no different experiences. So now I'm comparing apples to apples. Am I going to spend $1,000 in the club that's going to play the same motherfuckers, and the same DJ that plays in that little ass bar is also playing that big ass club?
Again,
so that's the truth.
I agree with you with all. Again, the music in the industry is completely diluted and it's completely just played again and again. I know because I go to 4 clubs a night and I see the same song every single time. Yeah. That I agree with you with. I also,
in the same order, which is the worst part.
I also agree with you that the fact that you've targeted a demographic that's really, really cultural, that's really, really to your venue, and you've done a great job at that. I don't understand how that correlates to the fact that you can't give the bottle waitresses more. I think these girls deserve more money. I
am. You know how? Because, like, let me give you an example. Just the other day, I was calculating that I'm probably going to spend about $4 million in this new makeover for Barcode. And I actually hired a company that told me everything that I'm doing by the square foot, how much it's going to cost me and the whole thing. My project, by $10,000, it doesn't hit $9 million. So this is $9 million that I'm doing makeover. Everybody thinks that the pool is dope. That ain't shit. That's not even 10% of what's coming up. But the reality here is, if I give, all I'm giving is giving to people that are temporary. You know why? Because those people will also be the first one to jump off the fucking ship as soon as your shit goes down.
Yeah.
So what am I gonna do? I prefer not to give you the money and give you the platform so you could make money. For example, there's 7 days a week, and we normally can say we have 7 nights a week to go out and party. The industry has proven that when you have something to give people during the daytime, you can also create a separate market, a concert market, a pool market, all different types of markets, right? So when I built the pool, I was able to give my bartenders, my waitresses, an outlet to go work at a place that you could go make day money and the same night make night money. So now you had 2 Saturdays in one night. So when I take that money and I invest it into a massive venue that keeps giving you more to work with, that's the way I paid you back. Because if you say on a regular Saturday, say you make $500, right? Well, now you walked out with $1,000. And then if you work Friday, you also probably made $1,000. And if you also work Sunday, now you got day money and night money.
And Monday, don't forget Mondays.
And even Mondays.
The amazing thing you did was, at the end of the day, was, again, you can pay somebody and they'll work for you, but if you make them believe in a vision, they'll die for you. And I think that's really, really what it is. It's about making people believe in what you're doing in the long term. And listen, I try to do that at my young age and my young company. And again, it's really important to me. Let me give you an example. I watch you from a distance and always watch how you create that loyalty. And I think that's super important to what you do.
I always tell my people that work for me. I have one of my business partners that he started with me as a bartender. Then I always used to see how when he came into work, he immediately started taking roles of being a leader. So one time, the manager that I had at the time, he was just bullshitting me. I'm like, you know what? This guy's becoming a problem. And I let him go. And I said, you know what? Can you be my manager? And he took on the task. He proved to me that he became a key element to my company. After that, when the opportunity came up, I'm like, I'm bringing you with me right now. I'm gonna help you here, and you're gonna be a percentage partner here. Today, I pick up funds without even walking into these buildings.
And he's a partner in 2 places.
And he's a partner in 2 places. You know why? Because the way I look at it is, a smart business owner is understand a percentage of something than 100% of nothing.
Eddie.
The average owner wants to be the fucking boss in control. Listen, when you go in business, the first thing you need to do is settle your prenup. So in case you and I don't work out, what's going to be the outcome? That's the first thing you need to do. Many people go into business with a wet dream. Oh, we're going to become millionaires overnight. Not when you know what the fuck you're talking about. So within my company, and I cannot talk the same for every single company. Within my company, if you come in and you prove to me that you are a key person, there will be opportunity, because just the way one business started, it branched off to another one, to other. Those places, I didn't go chase them. They came to me because of the footprint that I had created. And then when those businesses come to me, I'm a human being. I can't be everywhere at one place. I'm here right now. Who knows what the fuck is going on in my other places? But because I've had people that I trust and I make them part of my picture, they understand that besides the fact that they can also have a salary, they're also going to have an opportunity to make extra money on their efforts. You see, if you're smart as an owner, you have to give people an opportunity to grow. But if you're an idiot, then, that's why bars shut down left and right. Yep. And I've been doing this for 25 years straight with not 1 year stopping.
Industry talk. That interview is coming, by the way.
I know.
It's coming. We're going to sit
that
down.
being said, we have a project coming up.
Yeah, we're going to sit down for
in
real.
the works.
We're going to sit down for real.
Stay tuned.
Oh, yeah.
Now the Kavasi here, we're going to sit down for real.
No, Eddie's one of a kind. He's not like your other average owner.
Oh, that we sat for what, like an hour? I was supposed to meet you for like 5 minutes, but ended up sitting down for like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, but it's hard. No, but you know it's hard for regular people, like for people to understand, because most owners in this industry, they're either not involved, you don't know who they are, you know what they're about. But with Eddie, he's super involved.
You guys feel it's so hard for other people out of the industry to just understand you on such a basic level.
I think it's just hard for
on
people
such a basic level.
I think it's hard for people to understand that you make a living off of their support. You know what I mean? Like, even if it's just showing up, like paying a $10 cover, $20 cover. I mean, it's really hard working where I work sometimes because the doors are difficult.
Yeah.
You know, there's like a $3,000 minimum, $4,000 minimum.
But
I know
whatever that is. Whatever you were drinking.
Like, yo, come out, show me love.
Whatever you were drinking.
Like people I went to high school with to want to. I know, right? Like,
that's our shit.
That's what you've trusted. You trust.
Can you give me some?
100%.
And eventually, that's gonna open doors for you that just working in Jersey wouldn't open.
Yeah, but it brought.
If it hasn't already.
But it brought me to Barcode. I mean, like it's still somehow.
No,
brought
Reggie
me to,
brought you to Barcode.
Yeah, but still,
And you're a good DJ.
Right, but my resume also.
Exactly.
Like I went my own route. I mean, everybody else was chasing their gigs out here. And I decided to step back and start my own wave and ride my own wave. You know what I mean? And for me, it's been working. I love what I do. I love where I spin. I love being in those clubs.
How'd you become a DJ?
You've come a long way, Marty.
How long you been DJing for?
Officially 10 years professional.
10 years.
I remember Marty like 6 years back.
Yeah, she used to book me at Gatas, yo. That place was a hellhole.
Yeah.
I love Gatas though.
We used to have the after party in my house.
I don't care what anybody says.
I love that shit. I love that shit.
I've been working the lobby.
Oh yes, I remember that fucking poor apartment.
That poor apartment.
That's for
wow. We used to have girls working literally on the wall.
Let me tell you though, Gatas was by far one of the funnest places I ever worked.
It was really fun. I was there.
Because it was out of control. Sorry, Lee.
Sorry, literally.
We did not run Gatas. Me and Marcy ran Gatas.
And I used to be there with Steen every Sunday when she was working by herself.
Oh my God, that fucking apartment.
That apartment. Marty and
I those walls could talk.
We were bartenders.
Literally, the walls could talk.
All night long.
Yeah, those are some wild times.
You know what's crazy?
I guess I'm drinking that now.
They never made the amount of money that they made when we were there. After we all left, it's over.
Yeah, because see my point of having regulars, I used to go every fucking day, and then you weren't there no more. I stopped going.
Huh? But that's how we know each other. Almost a lot of people in this room.
Yeah, that's a fact. All of us know each other from Scotland.
Before I worked at that food, I was like Titus regular.
But Reggie,
Oh my god, that was my regular first time working there too. Get out of here. He was just a regular.
Reggie's one of the first niggas outside of my place to co-sign.
Actually, to be completely honest with you, Reggie and E-Rock were getting me into clubs before I knew anything. I used to get into headliners back in the day with G and Gia, Amanda Brando.
Why not? Yeah, we make people famous.
What are you talking about?
I used to hang out with them like before I even knew them.
Oh, that bitch.
Anything.
It's memories, yo.
Definitely memories. But I feel like our industry circle, like a lot of people don't understand us, like how we do, like even you, me, Sting, Steen, like we always make like crazy ass jokes, and other people will be like, y'all are crazy, but to us, it was our whole circle. We just got it, and we understood.
But we've also got into a lot of disagreements. Me and Tiggs have actually.
Me and Tiggs argue too sometimes, but like it's all love though. Like we still have like that whole. Our whole group in general,
Alright, gonna close the show.
We're all just kind of on the same wavelength. But other people that's normal, they don't.
You gotta call
we have that kind of relationship that we don't see each other forever.
For Malone, I see Marty. It's like,
and then we see each other, it's like we pick up our own left.
It's like the Friday after party.
But again, that
just
goes to show you like you need to understand each other's struggle. You know what I mean? Like just because I don't talk to you doesn't mean that I don't care about you.
You have a kid, you have a whole girl. Like I understand, I got my whole shit going on too. Like, but at the end of the day, our whole nightlife circle, those have been my. When I was younger, my real friends that I grew up with used to be like, oh, those party friends you have, they ain't shit, they're not gonna last forever. And what ended up happening, my best friends that I have to this day that have been my most loyal and consistent friends are my nightlife friends. They were,
that's true.
Of course, here and there.
No, that's true.
But
what do you guys do?
The people I see the most are people I work with.
Yeah, but some of them are also the reason why we get into trouble. Like
I've
I've made some amazing friends in the nightlife, but I've also realized that some of the people I've hung out with in the nightlife are also the same people that they're either using me for free drinks to get into clubs for free.
Hello.
Yeah.
That's true though. That is true though. That's why it is hard. That is why it's hard.
And me and Eddie used to have this disagreement all the time because I was like, "Oh, you think they're your friend? Really, they're not." And I used to be like, "No, you're wrong." And recently, actually, in the last couple months, I realized that Eddie does have a point. Not everybody's your friend.
But people get it fucked up though.
There's no more.
People really get it fucked up. So whereas like
shisha, bro.
DJs are the first one to be like, oh well, you're my friend, you should be booking me. You know what I mean? Like that's not the case. That's not the case. That's definitely not the case. Like if I'm your friend, I'm your friend because I connect with you, I vibe with you. I mean, but on the contrary, if you're my friend and you're a promoter and you've been fucking with me and you know my journey, if I tell you, if I haven't worked with you for a long time and I'm telling you, yo, my price is this now, you should agree to what the fuck my price is.
And that's it.
You know what I mean? Like if I tell you my price went up, you should be like, yo, you know what, my nigga, you've been.
Don't tell me that.
Don't hit them with the you're gonna charge me that? I was one of the first niggas to book you.
DJ said that my price went up. I'm like,
How the fuck did it go up? What happened?
Like what happened? I didn't know nothing new about you.
Hey yo, this ain't fucking AT&T. You're not grandfathered into a number. Like what the fuck?
They got thousands.
You know what I'm telling
I'm dead ass.
Pick up the phone and call Eddie and tell me price went up. None of them do it.
Your booking went down.
We got budgets.
Your price went up, your booking went down, nigga.
Alright guys, we really gotta wrap up the show. This is the longest show we've ever had. You and Eddie really like killed my vibe.
Alright, so you guys want to get back to some fun stuff? We can get back to like
No. It's time to wrap up. But Jason, Marty, thank you so much for being on our show.
You guys were amazing. This is actually one of the most entertaining.
You can do it.
No, you guys are great, and I'm excited to see where you guys go. And
Marco date coming soon.
yes, and I hope in a couple months we can meet again and just talk about how much we've also.
Are we
grown.
doing
Good save, Marty.
I would
Good
love
save.
your help. I mean, it's my wedding anniversary.
Shit's about
Hey,
to
we're
laugh.
doing this brunch. Let's do this brunch. Eddie, we're doing this
That'd be
brunch.
dope.
I
Other
think
chair, bro.
they should help us.
Yeah, this shit good.
That'd be dope.
Baby, I leave that up to you.
Yeah, word. We should talk about
I miss it. DJ do the drink. I don't get involved with that shit.
Come on,
Alright, first of all, it's not a brunch. It's fuck brunch. And
Fuck
I-
brunch!
Me
Fuck
and
your
Eddie
shit.
G came up with the fuck brunch.
What?
What's the name? What's the name? What's the name?
Top-
I was
Oh,
there. I was there.
you were there, but who said fuck brunch?
And I concurred.
What's the
Eddie
name?
came up with
ladies,
it.
ladies,
So
ladies.
everybody
Table for me.
What's the name, Steen?
Fuck brunch. Fuck brunch.
Yo,
Fuck
is that
Fuck brunch.
call that shit brunch?
And he said
But
no.
it's never a fucking brunch.
It's
So,
not a fucking brunch. It starts like 6 p.m. It's fuck
That
brunch.
being said, fuck brunch.
Yeah,
That's
October
October
20th.
October
There's no
28th.
breakfast food. It's
1 year
fuck.
anniversary Christian Dior ice.
We see you, Camilo,
Mish.
Frank Roth, and the BPM. So make sure you get your tables immediately.
Yeah.
Really sell out.
Yo, and you know what?
It's gonna be the freak show.
Marty,
Shout out to
Reggie.
Steve. Shout out to Jazz for having
we in
us.
there.
Of course.
Thank you for having us.
Appreciate you
Yo,
guys
can
having
I
us.
keep my syllabus?
I use of course.
Yeah, you can keep your syllabus.
Do whatever you want.
We got you.
Marty,
Eddie,
stay
appreciate
tuned for that
Souvenir.
wig, okay, baby?
Yo,
Sunday
the wig
is
is
the
coming.
debut.
I'm telling you,
Sunday's
it's
the
a
debut.
dub.
I'm gonna
Listen,
be acting brand new.
just be grateful. Yo, you know how many bald bitches want to have your hair?
Not long enough. I want long hair.
Stop. Boo, you're blessed.
That shit ain't long.
Yeah, he's such a.
Eddie,
Yeah, Eddie.
This is
I
why
hate that
actually,
shit.
asshole.
You know how many
Yeah,
girls
she's not
on
gonna
TV
leave
want
it
your hair
today.
right now?
It's good.
Listen,
It was good
stay
today.
tuned for the blonde wig, guys. Mwah. Have a good night.
Four.
She said the blonde wig.
No,
Yeah,
it's like,
it's
and
blonde.
it's like
It's
MacBook
blonde.
color, nigga. That shit's not even
Be in the
blonde.
closet.
I have to edit this whole shit.
Man,
Oh my god, y'all talk too
dude.
much.
It's gonna be out here
Now.
like a fucking Portuguese storm.
These are all the cards with it.
Alright, well, everything?
Right here.